Hello and welcome. I yell.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to another wonderful episode of SUPERDEEP.
That's what she said.
Yeah, a Mad Mage adventure. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at introducing this. Okay, cool. So yeah, well, welcome to our stream. We're gonna get some paper, some housework, house cleaning.
Housekeeping.
There it goes.
Perfect. Cool. Get that out of the way.
Housekeeping.
Last time we delved into the first level of the dungeon of the Undermountain, and it was a pretty prototypical dungeon. It was flagstone. It was primarily unlit, and you encountered a band of thieves and thugs. What, you guys remember them at all?
Yeah, we killed the shit
What
out
was
of
it?
them.
What was their shtick? Who were they?
They dressed like vampires. They were actors, out-of-work actors,
They were like
and actresses.
drow, right?
Half drow.
No, they were human. They were
human.
Yeah, they were humans who
They were
just
trying to pass themselves off as vampires.
Yeah.
Okay.
Human vampires.
They were all dressed up and they had frilly collars and they were cosplayers. There was a band of cosplayers in this sewer.
Like, get out of here.
And we
killed them.
All of them
were
you killed.
vampires. That's the danger of dressing like
I mean, I'm gonna
no
kill it
vampires.
like it's a vampire if it looks like a vampire. I'm a
we
paladin.
didn't kill the last of them because
Yeah.
we killed her flesh.
Her golem. Yeah, we murdered the hell out of that thing too.
And then she was like, "I'll give you all this stuff."
Yeah.
Because she was asleep.
Yeah.
You guys found her. Yeah.
She
You
was
killed
like, "I'm
you
just
murdered
an
her.
actor."
You murdered her flesh golem.
Yeah.
And all of her friends.
And all of her friends.
Yeah, everyone she knows.
What else happened? What other interesting things? Oh, more importantly, let's go back around the table real quick. Let's start with tonight. Audrey's going to start with Tara, just in case Kaylin does show up, and I don't want him to have to be the start of the line. Let's go around real quick. Character class. Think about yourself. Tell me what I want this time around. Tell me what's in the bottom of the Undermountain for you in your mind, your character's mind. What's that goal that you can solve when you fight your way down and figure your way into a place that no one has ever reached before? Why are you doing this undoable task? And we'll just start with Meryl over here.
Cool. I am Meryl, Witch of the Last Midnight. I'm a level 6 wizard. And in the depths of this super deep dungeon is the magic, the knowledge, the secrets that will help me bring my sister back into human form.
Cool.
My sister Minerva is now a cat.
Awesome.
Which is cool and all, but she's
popcorn.
cursed, so.
Yeah. So Nicole.
This is my sister Minerva.
Yeah. Go ahead and have a hero point.
Thank you.
Clean.
Flam.
I'm Minerva, and as you said, our sister turned me into a cat, so when that happened, some magic was awoken in me, and it helped me become the sorceress that I am today.
Cool.
And,
So you turn into a cat, but you got magic powers also.
yeah, magic cat.
That's nice.
No,
Oh,
Magic
yeah.
cat.
He's a magic cat.
And I've got a cool little bag of holding collar with a bow on it, and it's real cute and all white and fluffy.
Cool.
But basically my goal is to become a human again, so.
Cool.
So.
Savannah is not here yet. Go ahead and hit a hero point, Nicole. Savannah's character will be popping in pretty soon. Bryce, why don't you go ahead and tell us about your character?
Sailor Lackman, Oath of Conquest Paladin. I go seeking in the depths of the super deep for a wish spell, so that I can wish myself some great importance. Somewhat of great importance. It was really close.
Don't say it wrong.
Oh, fuck.
It's really important.
What's your
I want someone who of great importance.
No.
Man, the more I've thought about it, I think she is just neutral, because I think she'll make decisions that are, conquesty and hasty, but then she also has some reservations about things. Like she didn't kill the.
I don't know if you can be true neutral and be a conquest.
Okay,
Paladin.
then she's definitely evil.
You can be lawful. You can be lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral?
I mean, or lot. I mean, or you can be neutral evil if you want to.
Yeah, I would say.
I mean, it really matters not quite as much. It's just trying to figure out what kind of god to give you. So it's not really that. It's I think somewhere a neutral lawful or neutral evil god will work either way.
For sure.
Because alignments are goofball
Yeah.
malarkey.
I think that probably then lawful neutral or lawful evil
Okay.
would be the best way, because I think that she would follow a code in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So guys, let's just look at the list real quick. I did this earlier, but I was drawing. Oh, drawing pictures. Speaking of which, I'll have all your guys. I'll have your full color group picture hopefully ready by next week's stream.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's just like
Okay.
like you always have two attacks. So now that she gets two attacks automatically, does her action surge give her a third once it passed?
Her action surge gives her a whole new action, so she gets 2 attacks.
Yeah.
so she
Go
takes the
have a hero point. Brandon, tell us
She
about
already
Halleck.
gets two attacks.
Halleck.
That's extra.
Halleck
Yeah,
is
but because
a,
you took the attack action and you have an extra
arcane
attack, you take
archer,
both of those as one
fighter
action,
scourge.
and the action surge
Azamar.
gives you a whole nother action. So if she takes
he
the attack action, it's
is-
the same thing. It's still you get 2
He is
attacks.
delving into the depths of the Undermountain to
If she
hopefully
action
find
surges,
a
attacks,
tool
you-
that can
Because it's 2 and 2.
provide information in his
So you have
undoing of the underweb that his father got engaged in. He doesn't have a whole lot of information about it. He just knows that it was there were dubious acts.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he's like a I guess lawful good. He just wants to banish evil. Like
Nice.
he just doesn't like, you know, the dark nefarious entities of the universe.
Mhm.
He wants to banish them.
Okay. Well, what better place than in the Undermountain?
He's just like a young like ragtag go getter of a kid who's like I have to.
That might be
Nice.
why.
Cool.
Cool. Have a hero point.
Not to talk about.
Dell, tell me about your character.
I am Del Cherry Cheeks.
Double cherry cheeks.
I am
No.
a halfling
You can't go higher than 20.
rogue, thief rogue. I use my thieves tools and my trap master feat to set traps, scavenge existing traps. My goals are Sayla's goals to a degree. I would like to make the Undermountain
So
mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, we want to ultimately take it over
Ooh,
and turn it into
okay.
our own.
Like I want to
Really?
turn all of the existing traps into my traps and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of take
The greatest
areas as we go.
Cool.
hold or keep or
Ever,
or
yeah.
vault in all creation.
Right.
If only you can
Sayla
control
has
it.
promised
That's
me
interesting.
that
Well,
I
that-
can.
That would make a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sayla's promised me that I can guard it if we take it. So
Cool.
Nice.
I feel like that would make a lot of sense to the group that you kind of fell in with, especially these witchy sisters.
we'd like to help them get her. You know, we have like
Well, this
our intentions or our needs and wants kind of meld together.
well, you sure because
We
the
have
the
common
Undermountain
goals
itself is said to have its own force of will.
Sure.
The legends says that the lands that are Waterdeep were once an ancient elvish kingdom that has since disappeared and was replaced by a dwarven kingdom that has since disappeared, and then a couple 100,000 years later, humans built a giant city on top of it, and that there's something special about this place, and that it seems to like call heroes in. So that's all legend and folklore, but as you get closer and deeper into it, you know that you're going to need people proficient in magics in order to take over the dungeon.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So last time we ended in a room that had a domed ceiling And in that domed ceiling, there was a pool of acid, 15 feet deep at its highest point. And the acid seemed to be magically suspended in the air. As you walked underneath it, you could smell the acrid smell in the air, the ozone burning up. As you kind of look around, and your light spells, your motes of light would reflect that acid, that pool of acid, making kind of a kaleidoscopy purple and blue and green kind of effect on the room. And you saw in the middle of the room there was a box being held by a statue of a fish, this fish person. I think they're called Sanguine or something like that. That's not right. Sangoon. Doesn't matter. It's 4 arms, but it looks like a statue, and it's holding this box. And I believe Meryl almost opened it up, but then thought better of it.
It's the hard part.
You guys decided that you needed to rest, that you have been traveling long enough, and that really any place is safe as safe as any other place. That there's at least one sorry, I'm just trying to think what's in the room as well. The only way out of this room is this one hallway, right? So it's kind of like an upwards hallway. So it would be an easy choke point if you guys had to fight 10 bandits. This would be as good of a place to rest as any, as long as you take rest and take watches and make sure that you cover your asses. But the night goes by pretty much for the first time. You guys are so exhausted from being in this place that you sleep very easily. Who takes watch? We need two shifts a night.
I take the second one.
Okay.
I'll take a watch.
Okay, cool. So you take the first watch, and during that watch, nothing happens. You kind of stay up, and you can do a little light reading or anything else that might be,
I assume he's like playing with his mother's hair because
No.
he's a little sentimental.
That's nice.
Childish.
In the picture I drew of the bow, I picture the bowstring. Did you see it on the group?
Yeah.
What you can't see in that picture is, because I'm going to do it with color, is that the bowstring, there's actually like 2 of them, and it makes like an X pattern as it pulls back. That's kind of cool. Yeah, for sure. So you're hanging out there. Nothing happens. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw, Jimmy.
Oh, get right in it.
17.
You have a very lucid, deep dream. And in the dream, you see yourself opening up a secret door to the north wall and finding a small brass key that unlocks the box. And in your head, you see yourself unlocking the box opening, and then you see your face as you look inside of it, kind of reaching in, and then you kind of wake up in a sweat, and it's your turn to take watch. Anyways, so you guys, I don't know if you guys talk about that at all. No. Okay, yeah. So he just says like, all right, I got this, and then he takes the second watch, and nothing happens. And when we wake up, and everyone, during the second watch, now this is up to you. You can have changed your mind. You do not have to have committed to this move if you don't want to.
Earlier in the evening, I'd heard Sayla talking about that she wanted it, and I decided that I was just going to take it, and so I went and opened the box again. I think we opened it before.
Yeah. So I think that you wake up and maybe instead of taking a full watch, what happens?
No, I mean about halfway through the watch, I went and grabbed it.
Well, you go up to that wall and you push the panel, and it slides right in, and covered in cobwebs in the very back. Takes you a second because it's kind of gross.
Framey.
You have to reach through,
It's nothing though.
and you feel a little brass key, and you pull the key out. So there's the key, and you walk over to the box. You put the key in the box.
Yeah.
You put the key in the box, and the box pops open, and behold, no acid falls on everyone's head.
Perfect.
Good.
And in the box is the withered tiefling heart. With its 5 chambers, like a piece of beef jerky, in a very beautifully lead-lined box.
Beautiful piece of beef jerky that I can't help but grab.
You grab it, and you can grab it, and then when you grab it, I imagine all the tension building strings. You grab it, and like nothing happens because you have to attune to it.
Yeah.
Do you choose to attune to it?
Yes.
All right.
Piece of beef jerky?
Everyone.
Are you sure?
Everyone, roll me a perception.
Are we asleep?
Roll disadvantage because you're sleeping.
What if you already have disadvantage?
You don't.
Then you have disadvantage.
Okay. Oh my god.
Nah. Oh wait, disadvantage. What?
Oh, roll with this. I mean, it's a nat 1.
You roll this first one.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Do you need more up here?
Do what?
You need more going on here?
No, I just wanted a little more background. Cool.
4 all day, hard one though.
So let's start around the table. Tara, what did you roll?
9.
9. You do not wake up.
I know.
What did you roll? Nat 1.
4 nat 1.
Nat 1.
Yeah.
You do not wake up.
Definitely didn't wake up.
Nicole, what did you roll? Minerva.
A nat 20, but then a 5.
Yeah, you
Just
so,
rolled
so you
five.
rolled a 5.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw out there that I have.
Oh, that's so sad.
And I'm
You
really
do not
bitter
wake
about
up.
it.
You had half a moment.
Sailor,
Right.
what did you roll?
21.
Okay, thank God.
Oh.
I rolled 2
You
18s.
wake up to the sounds of Dell gasping and clawing as you get
Oh,
up
yeah.
and run over to him. His in his hand is covered in fresh blood. You can see that he's fallen over. He looks like almost like he's suffocating, but his heart is laying 3 inches in front of him as he like looks up at you, and he's like, roll me a Constitution saving throw as your heart is being
Oh my God.
replaced with that withered tiefling heart.
Oh boy.
What do you do, Sailor?
I'm gonna
Non-nat 20.
I'm gonna pick up his heart and I'm gonna try and like
Shove it back in
shove
his
it back
chest.
in.
Then
There's no hole in his chest.
I'm gonna I'm gonna like set it down and try and like take the thing out of his hand.
What did you roll?
A non-nat 20.
All right, cool. Yeah, what do you do?
I'm trying to rip because the withered heart's still in his hand, right?
No. The withered heart is nowhere to be found.
Oh my god.
Just his actual.
His actual heart
Is in
is
his hand.
is in his hand, and now it's on the ground. And now it's in your hand.
Well,
And it
I
pumps,
guess
and
it's
it's
stand there
still,
and
it's still, but you can feel it. Goo, 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 goo,
I'm gonna like I don't know.
goo.
I'm gonna squeeze it. I don't know.
Squeeze it.
Roll me a Constitution save with disadvantage because you squeeze your heart.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Sorry, that one doesn't count.
Goo, goo,
17.
goo, goo. Okay, you're still alive. Goo, goo.
Are we still asleep?
They're still asleep. He hasn't said anything.
I'm gonna scream. Help! What do I got?
All right, you guys all start to wake up, and as you're all assessing the situation, figuring out what you want to do, make me a Constitution saving throw. This one at disadvantage, please. As you are dying, as the tiefling heart has replaced your heart and is sucking the life out of you, turning you into a withered husk.
Oh God.
You can see his life draining from his face.
Ah.
What did you roll?
5.
All right, you are now unconscious.
Oh no.
I need you to start making death saves. Not right now. Who wants? Does anyone want to do anything? We have 1 round. Jimmy needs to make 1 death save this round.
Yeah, can I
Dell,
s-
make your death save.
Can I assess the situation?
Yeah.
What's happening over here? What have you done,
Okay.
Dell?
Roll me an
Rolled a
arcane.
17.
What have you
Replace this.
done?
And I'm like,
Rolled a 17.
Okay, you make 1 save.
I'm gonna lay on hands on Dell and see if that does
It has
anything.
no effect. He is at full hit points.
Oh no.
Well,
24 Arcana.
24 Arcana. His heart is on the ground, and that dried up heart is inside of his chest. It's cursed. He has a curse on him. He's dying right now.
Right now.
Yeah, he will
It's a
die.
curse,
Can you
it's a
remove
curse, it's a curse, it's a curse.
Make
it's
me
a
another
curse.
save, Jimmy.
I don't know how to do it though.
All
Then I
right.
pull my spell pages out and
Uh-huh.
start like frantically being like, how do
Okay.
I do
Roll
this?
the
But I
15.
can do that.
Okay, just 1 more death save.
Oh my god.
Does anybody else do anything?
Alec is mortified.
I'm
For
just happy.
curses, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right,
It's just
Jamie.
a touch spell.
Maybe
What is
I could
it?
freeze
Remove
you?
curse.
You have remove curse?
Yes, that's what I screamed. I have removed
Oh,
curse.
I didn't know that. Kurt, cast it.
I do. I'm here with him.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was trying to read it.
No,
That's
no,
what
I
was
didn't.
just
I
saying a
didn't. I
second
didn't hear
ago.
you say that.
I can uncurse him, and I pull out like all the spell pages. And
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to
She
start
pulls out
doing
her
it.
spell page. She pulls out the staff of the Magi, and then you notice now that with the staff, you can whip it around your wrist, and all your spell scrolls from your spell book kind of flip in a much more organized fashion. You can kind of just like cast them around, and they move like almost like touch screen, like
Uh-huh.
the pages just slide around.
I love it.
She starts going through the material and semantic components. Do you want to do a witchy spell on him to bring him back to break this curse and save his life?
Now your tiefling heart is cursed, but no more will it be.
And it works. And when you do that,
Nice. Thank
Wait.
two things
You thought it was
happen.
gonna rhyme, didn't you?
Your heart disappears, a crimson mist, and if anyone checks the box, the tiefling heart has reappeared in the box. Del,
I may or may not.
You're fine.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.
Like conscious?
yeah, he's fine. He's awake. He's alive.
Nice.
You remember the curse? The curse
Oh
was
my
killing.
god.
Yeah. Wow. That's really nice.
God.
Everyone, make me a dexterity
God.
saving throw.
What?
As the fucking
What?
acid comes down.
What? No.
Oh, everybody
Oh, no.
add +5 because now I have aura protection. You get +5 to your saving throws.
Nice.
Nice.
Good. Thank you. Oh no.
As you guys turn to like look, and maybe one of you walk up to the box to see if the heart's there, the heart inside the box is bouncing back and forth as if it's like, I don't know, like it's got something inside of it, and it literally starts to crackle with energy, and the entire of the statue, the first thing that happens is it depetrifies. It's a petrified creature. It's not a
Statue.
It's not a statue.
Oh god.
And it looks down, and instead of being like a scary monster, it's got like a oh shit. And there's this eruption of arcane energy as you guys kind of try to dodge out of the way. What'd you roll?
12.
What'd you roll, Del?
16.
What'd you roll?
21.
What'd you roll, Nicole?
16.
Okay. What'd you roll?
11.
Oh, geez.
17. Sorry. I can't.
I need you to make me a spell attack, please.
Not nat 20.
Nat 20. You instinctively, as if guided by some knowledge or like muscle memory of past, like your past grandeur as a wizard, she turns the staff and spins it, and uses the staff to connect with this force as it is about to like make a wave that washes over all of you. And as she pushes with the staff, it looks like she's pushing it into a wood chipper, and it like
Oh, no.
breaks into pieces.
Oh no!
And I'm gonna roll some damage.
That's not tight.
That is not lit.
Nope.
Everyone is going to take half of. Okay, everyone takes 6 damage.
Blast.
It's just pure force damage. Your staff rips apart in your hand, but you only take the damage. And as the room kind of settles down, you know that that staff, you're able to stop a much more like powerful,
It saved our lives.
like killing all of you guys.
Oh wow.
So,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Thank you.
Does everybody have an inspiration point or a hero point?
Thank you. Sorry about the sacrifice.
That's okay. It saved all of our lives.
Well, that was a drag.
Oops. Sorry.
And
I come
for
over
you.
and like pick you up by the back of your shirt, and I'm just like, don't do that again, and I just like drop you.
I do want to hear all about it, though.
I'm gonna go pee on Dell's foot.
All right. And the cat pees on
Yeah.
you.
It's pretty stinky. It doesn't go away.
She's
Follows you. That's what it is.
And then I try to speak, and a bunch of light comes out of my mouth, and I just be quiet again.
Is that what happens when you speak?
Just like whenever I get overexcited.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like if he gets overexcited, it's just,
So, are you saying celestial is not a language, but really just like it's just light? Like they just like open their mouths and it's just like,
Based on the emotion,
like
though,
light shines out.
like
well,
that.
it's just like because whenever
Thank
whenever
God.
he gets
Muscles
into
today.
a moment, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if he's not focusing on like trying to repress it,
Mm-hmm.
then
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, you guys have your lives. Dell, you did not die.
Not today.
I learned an
anyway.
important lesson from all of this is that I can't use the stuff in the book the way it's written because people will Google crap. Kaylin is not here, but I'm talking about him. I'm almost 100% joking. Almost.
Dude, wait, no,
Every joke.
He messaged me the next morning. He's like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
Negative.
I looked it up, but I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Why would you ruin that for yourself?
No, it's a good lesson because now it just means that I'll just change everything just a little bit. And it'll be even hard. It will just be hard, and it'll make it even more. Like
What was it gonna do?
You'll hate it even more.
that.
That's-
Exactly.
Exactly.
It did
That's what
exactly
it
that.
does.
Try to.
I didn't change anything.
So jokes on Kaylin?
I gave you a. I tell you, I changed one thing. I gave you a save as opposed to it just happening. So, well.
Wow.
If she hadn't had remove curse, you were just gonna die. So.
Thank God.
I would have tried to
Did
cut you open, man. I was
my
gonna do it.
11.
Did the
I really
staff,
thought about like having you.
did
So,
the
like,
staff
physically
have
versus
remove
what?
curse, or did she have a dinner spell?
I think
I
took-
have
you
remove
took it
curse.
this level, didn't you? So if you
Yeah,
guys
it's
hadn't
one
leveled
of
up
my-
last time,
It's one of my 4 level 3
if
spells.
you hadn't leveled up last time, you would have been
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 level 3 spells.
shit out of luck.
I also learned Feign Death since we played last.
Dope.
And
Well, I'm glad you're not dead. And then I
Yeah.
walk away.
That was scary.
Same.
Yeah, this was fun. So I tried to do this without my phone. Doesn't matter.
Kaylin did say that he was going to be late.
Okay, that's cool.
If he comes, he'll be
Can you
late.
make it just a little
tonight.
brighter in here for a second?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. That's
I'm so sorry.
fine. I'm just gonna up it a little bit.
It's
Okay.
lovely warm light.
I'm sorry. I'm getting it together.
Alright,
Getting
cool.
it.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's good. All right. So, you guys, what you want to do anything else before you leave this room? You're all awake. You all get a full rest. Del, you take 1 level of exhaustion.
Man, how do you feel about all this?
Jimmy, metagame, I'm sorry that I told you all week that wouldn't kill you.
Because it was just going
I'm
to.
gonna take
No, I
partial
mean,
blame for
my
that.
first instinct, like immediately after deciding that before we left, was, damn, the reason that thing's just sitting there amidst like
It's the first level.
nothing, yeah,
Uh-huh.
because it just kills you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There might have been more clues too. So we learn a couple things right now, right? We learn that stuff in this dungeon can just instant kill you, which is shitty, but it can happen. 2,
Fair warning.
that when Meryl cast remove curse, there was some sort of like feedback effect. So
That was because of the curse.
that was because of the curse.
spell.
It was because you cast remove curse on the spell.
Oh.
So the
I see.
spells inside this dungeon are stronger, and they have their own rules.
Great.
This place, and what you can learn, I think, from that whole experience, my spellcasters, the 2 of you, and maybe my planer guy over there, is that the magics here have a will of their own. You know what I mean? Like there is a certain the Undermountain itself seems to like maybe I don't know. You can even feel it in the walls. Does anybody touch the wall?
I do right
I'm
now,
touching
as you say.
shit the rest of the time we're down here.
I feel
I'm gonna kill you.
I feel like I would examine some walls and stuff.
Yeah. So you guys, as you
We've
you're
already
looking
been through
around
a
this
plane.
space and you're kind of having this conversation. It doesn't take long. Did you take sleight of hand for your expertise, not perception?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Meryl, with your passive 19 or whatever it is, you look and you can see that what you didn't see before, that there is a little scrap of like dust on one of these like mantles inside the room, and as you look at it, you can see it's almost like a finger is writing a phrase. And it says, in common, it says,
an illusory script.
it says, I can help. And then, and then you see a rock fall from the ceiling, and then another one, as if there's pebbles that are kind of like, not a lot, just enough to like, as if someone was like stomping the ground above it, just making a little puddle of dirt, and it's almost as if there's a little trail leading outside of this room.
Keep up.
I don't want to follow it.
Well, I don't let her go alone. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty's right there.
I was showing it
Let's
wrong.
go.
I got these maps.
Oh.
You don't get to look at them. They're not for you, unfortunately. But they're
Oh my god.
they're
Oh my god.
everyone complained online. They were like $24 on Amazon. I was telling about it earlier. They're a little expensive. I got them for half price on Amazon, and they're dry erase. So now I don't have to like flip through the book to try to find the room. I can just be like, oh, this is the room in the book.
That's awesome.
So if you are a DM running this game, I highly recommend them. Cool.
And that's your advertisement.
Little plug.
Thanks. She did plug.
Now to the MeUndies plug.
Yeah, man, I want MeUndies to sponsor me at some point in my life.
You
That
do
would be
love
awesome.
MeUndies.
Yeah, I
You know
can't
you
wear
think-
black shirts for future reference. I look like a head that's just like floating in this background. I'll change my shirt next time.
Sorry about your magic item.
That's okay. It saved our lives.
The huge bummer.
Yeah, but that's all right. I hadn't even written its stats down. So
That's why you lost.
I probably. Okay.
So as you guys
Right.
leave this space, remember it kind of curved around. It went into this long, 100-yard long hall of pillars. And all these pillars are built into the ceiling, but they're different noblemen and noblewomen of like ancient Waterdeep's past, and they all obviously represent. And at some point, the pillars, as you guys follow this like little trail, and you can kind of just see there's just like debris and shit just kind of falls. And at one point, you guys pass a one of the dead bandits, those vampire bandits, and now there's a blood trail, as if this whatever this force is has grabbed their blood to help show you which direction you need to go. And as you kind of head down that way, you're almost immediately confronted by something you haven't seen before, and that is a human named Kara, right?
Half elf, technically. but
Half
it's
elf. Yes.
Kara.
Half elf Kara. Cool. All right. Why don't you describe yourself and your accomplice as she's running down the hallway? She's like, ah! And then you guys are like, ah! And then it very instantly you're like, oh, this is just another like person from upstairs. She's just like you're gonna see other adventurers. So not every person inside this dungeon is gonna be like, I need to kill them on sight. You might be a little wary of her, but you wouldn't be like, oh, shoot her because she's walking towards us.
I'm definitely making high checks.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a high check. That's fine.
Bam.
27.
If you're looking for him, that's the check. Okay, cool. So, you guys bump into each other and describe yourselves.
I am a Eldritch Knight.
Cool.
I am, honestly, I came down here looking for glory, all the good stuff, but all my team got killed, and I just want out.
Out of here?
Yeah. But
That's
you know
the
what?
other
I'll just
direction.
stick with you guys if you let me, because I don't want to get killed.
Yeah. What's your alternative?
Yeah. So I mean, like, if you guys want to take me in, I'll stick with you, and then I can get the fuck out of here.
I gotcha.
You guys do.
What me lady's saying is that we. This is Tag. This is your squire.
Oh, okay.
What's his name?
His name's
Yeah, that's right.
Did you get me?
His name is Taggart Ramel. Taggart. Tag is like his first inclination is to bolster you up anytime you have like this like
That's great.
I'm just I want to get her. What she means to say is that she's going to get all the glory and all the gold, and we will go back and we will avenge her father, and we will have, and there'll be, and there's going to be, and there will be, we'll have a feast.
Are you saying that you two are to lead us now?
No.
And he looks
No.
at you.
No.
Yes.
Dag,
No. No.
That sounds like consensus.
No.
Is he a human too?
Yeah, he's just a human child. He's just a human child.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Jesus.
No.
There's no place for this kid.
Why
I
is
mean,
he
like,
here?
look, guys, I got a lot of responsibility. Just help me out.
We're
guys,
both just
please.
like, everyone's just like looking at the both of
He's
you.
like, quit looking at me like that, devil! And he pulls out his
Oh my God.
his short sword.
Who's the devil?
This angel guy.
Oh.
He just notices your glowing eyes and
Yeah.
Tag, reel it in.
I want to jump on Tag's head.
oh kitty. And then you're like on his head and like being annoyed, and he's just so happy. He's
Ow.
I love. Yeah. Ow!
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Typical.
Oh boy, that poor kid. He's not gonna live long, I don't think. I'm worried for him.
Jake kills your sidekicks. Just so you know.
He
No,
does.
You know, if you're gonna
Scott
have more
lived
than
for a
one
long
character,
time.
Yeah.
you're kind
He's
of
gonna
asking
have a
for it.
good run.
I don't know about kill kids. I feel like
I know. It's gonna be tough. You're like crossing a line.
I feel like it's worse. I feel like it's worse if you're like uncertain fate awaits the kid that you're like they were taken.
Right?
I don't know.
Oh,
Don't
at
know
least if
what
they were dead, you know they would.
Yeah.
They did.
Ooh, that's gritty. There you go. That's
Can you
grimy.
give me a glass of water?
Yes.
Thank you.
No.
sir.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Okay.
Dirty.
Grimmy. Sir. So he's like happy to meet you all. So the nice thing about Tag though is that Tag can carry stuff for you guys. Tag has an extra 8 points of weight distribution, but he has the special feature that allows him to carry any amount of like mundane like gear inside of his sack. So Tag can't carry any of your magical stuff. He can only carry that stuff through the weight system. But like if you guys find ropes or like things, he's a pack mule, so he collects stuff as you guys run around.
Yeah.
So that's kind of his thing. So if you guys need stuff, Tag might have it in his bag.
It's a Mary Poppins bag of lesser
It's
items.
it seems like it's magic, but it's only because he's just very industrious. I imagine him being like a little bowl cut little kid and just being like running around just like oh, a shiny rock.
That's exactly what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
just
He's like
like-
a little kid. He's like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
He's a ginger.
Like,
He just really
waking
comes
up-
up in my mind as
No,
a
he's a
ginger.
ginger.
Waking up with a full night's rest after sleeping on rocks. You know, he's
Yeah.
13.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, he's good to go.
Let's go.
Tag, do mind your
Let's
mouth.
fight an ooze. I want to see an ooze.
Young boy, you do realize you're in a dungeon.
Yes. Very exciting.
This child's the worst.
I'd like to
Tag
prestidigitate a scarf right around his
You
mouth.
can't make a scarf.
I take one off of my body.
There you go.
Yes.
But he listens to you. So if you tell him to be quiet or to do a thing, he snaps to it, no problem. Because he looks up to you. You're training him. So pretty much what you say is law with him, and he will be like, whatever. So if you're like stealth mode Tag, he goes. And he just like runs off.
Like the best sidekick ever.
So you guys, yeah. So here are these people. You can at least hang out with them until they go on, or yeah. I mean, you're not gonna. Obviously, you're scared. So obviously, you don't want to do it by yourself.
I don't want to be here.
All right, cool.
And someday you will lose him.
As you're talking to them, you guys see a passageway. You're kind of heading down the way you were going. The little like trail. The blood trail ended because the fresh blood ran out. But now there is a break in these cobwebs down this hallway that you wouldn't have seen before because the cobwebs were so dense. The cobwebs kind of tear and they kind of lift. Kind of leading you, like, come this way. And then you hear, all of you in your heads, come with me, I can help you.
There's a trap.
It's always a trap.
Can I roll an insight,
You
maybe?
can, you all can.
I'm gonna investigate for traps.
You can.
23.
Wow.
14 investigation for
Cool.
traps.
You do not see any traps, mechanical, or any like signals for like glyph style traps. Big magic traps that would be obvious.
10.
You hear the voice, and it is ominous.
Oh yeah, it is.
You,
Got a nat one.
you are terrified. What did you roll, Kitty?
11.
You heard the voice. It is ominous. What did you roll?
15.
You hear the voice. It is ominous. You hear the voice, and you feel as if like ever since that spell was broken, you broke that spell of the tiefling's heart, and then your staff exploded. You can feel a slight permeation in the weave, as if that explosion caused a tear. As a matter of fact, if you were to cast detect magic, you would see that the weave in that part of that chamber is now kind of broken and is slowly trying to reweave itself. And the tear kind of is following the same pathway as you kind of follow with this force. But you want to trust it. Whether you do or not, I'll leave up to you. But you want to trust it.
Yeah, this is what's happening to us, so I'm gonna figure out how we're gonna stop it from happening.
The space leads you, your lights of moat, I imagine you're casting dancing lights. The lights of moat go ahead of you, and they reveal as you walk through this space an armory. There are cobwebs everywhere, and there is a door to the south of the room. And yeah, there's a door to the south of the room with a hand axe embedded in it.
Like looks like someone threw it into the door.
Yeah, it's or like smell like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go look at that.
Yeah, it is mundane. It doesn't look like nothing eerie about it other than like what it's there. Do you want to like touch it, interact with it?
You wanna touch it?
You want to touch it, baby? Baby boy,
Excuse me.
little baby boy. You want to touch that?
Stop it.
Touch that hand.
You should think
No.
about it.
I think we should try and open the door.
For sure. And you can. It's not locked or anything. Actually, I take that back. You attempt to open the door, and it is locked. There's a very, very old mechanical lock on it. One that's dwarven make. It does not match the style of the door. It was put on there after the fact to safeguard this door.
But from this side? That's weird.
Well, it's like obviously this is like some sort of closet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I look over you.
it's
And
a smaller door. It like the lock is stronger than the door itself.
yeah, I'm like,
So just
down.
burn the door down?
Easy, Tiger. I inspect the lock for traps.
Dell's
So
not
the
home.
Eldritch Knight walks up, burn the door down, and
No.
Bill says, "Easy, Tiger."
Question mark?
I jump out from out of nowhere.
What did you call me?
Right? No, you're like, where? What? There's another one of you?
What's that child doing?
There's another kid here?
Yeah, right?
You're gonna roll a little lockpicky for me.
Yeah, but also I want to investigate the lock for trap.
Yeah, for sure. Of course you do.
Nice.
What'd you roll?
A 26.
The door is not trapped. The lock is very, very complicated.
Very
Yeah, you
complicated.
can tell after you look at it. You're like, well, there's no mechanical traps. You're like, let me see one of those light modes, and she whisks it over to you, and you're able to kind of guide it around like a flashlight. So you look on. Well, I don't really see. And you're like, but you can pick it.
You start
It's
cracking
just,
it.
but if you don't pick it correctly, you might have to burn the door down.
Burn the door down.
We do have a backup plan.
26.
Click, and it opens.
Yeah.
I
My
huffed
man.
disappointedly.
Sailor says, nice work as usual, Del. And I'm gonna open the door.
And I tell Kara that there will be many more doors.
There is in this room a strange. There are two things that are strange about this room. It's a very small. It's like a 10-foot space. It's a closet. When the door opens, you push it in, and then as soon as the door opens, you feel and see dirt and dust kind of crumbling and pushing through the space. It doesn't hurt you or anything, but you have to cover your mouth just as all this dirt kind of hits the ground and makes an after effect of dustiness. And a shaft of light, kind of lying silvery light. You would swear at moonlight. Seems to kind of shine through a crack in the ceiling onto this dusty, sandy floor. And set inside this floor is this large wheel and this, some sort of metal container. It's unlike anything you've seen before, because none of you guys are dwarven, right? No. Yeah, it's some sort of, but the wheel, you can tell it's just a big wheel that you should turn, but I don't know, there's a very mythical feeling about this room as you kind of look inside of it.
I look at Meryl. Do you know anything about this kind of magic?
Can I roll something?
Yeah, roll an arcana.
I also want to look around for etchings or some sort of writings that might be on the walls or.
For sure.
I don't know.
So glad I'm not dead.
Me too, man. I'm really glad.
Really sorry about your magical item.
That's okay.
That's on me.
I'm so glad that I had removed curse. But yeah, you owe me a fucking magic item.
Spell slot.
And I won't forget it.
I want you there.
It's up here. It's a steel trap up here.
I knew there were no water cash.
Sailor's petting you.
22 Arcana.
Cool. There is a magical inscription. There are 8 little rivet points, and each one of them have a different rune set in some. Do you speak Dwarven? It's in Dwarven. You would know it's Dwarven, but you wouldn't know what the sigils mean. They would indicate that if they were activated, that there would be some sort of. This is some sort of magical device that has an arcane lock on it. If these were activated, it would be completely unbreakable. And as the moonlight glows on it, you can see that each of the sigils are lit up. And as you look up into this space on the wall, slowly and dripping blood out of the bricks, phrases start to appear. And the phrase basically says, take this power and harness it correctly. It can be his undoing. Save me. And then one by one, each of these sigils start to disappear, and the wheel unwinds? No? Turns, and
Nailed it.
the seal opens, and you can smell dank old air that's been locked away in this little tiny safe for a long time. And as you say that, the words on the wall in a glimmer disappear. And then so does the light. And then the room is very dark and kind of mundane. Not quite as mythical as it was before.
So, the sigils aren't there anymore?
The lock on this lockbox has been opened by this spirit, by whatever that was.
Oh,
and
I
now
see.
now you guys can go inside.
No dibs.
Cool. Okay.
No dibs.
I get it.
I guess we could move forward. And
So yeah, let's investigate.
Yeah.
Investigate.
Check it for
Traps.
traps
do
and
that.
things.
Traps.
Make yourself useful.
Trappy traps.
Do the
Non-nat-
trappy thing.
Non-nat 20 and
Non-nat
investigation.
Well, it had stuff on it, but magic has rendered that inert, so it seems completely fine. There is no mechanical traps, and whatever magical effects were present in the box are gone.
I'll check it out.
Cool.
Go ahead.
You open it up, and it's a very small space. It's only about a foot deep, and inside there is a binding of parcels and papers. They are partially bound together by leather straps, and then other pieces are wrapped around by cord, and it looks like a very makeshift, like manual of some sort. It doesn't look very fancy. It looks complicated, and it's like how all these pieces of paper are kind of stuck together and bound 100 different ways, but it doesn't look like beautiful. Or do you grab it?
Not me. I don't.
Okay.
I go up. And
Say there's some.
I want to immediately take a look at it.
Yeah. So you grab them, and when you grab them, it's just a bunch of papers and pages. You notice that you kind of flip through it, and you see just things you've already seen inside the Undermountain. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my goodness.
Because you're not you're an arcane archer. You can make it with advantage.
But don't forget to add +5. You're in my aura of protection.
So.
Hmm?
Oh, you said also +5.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at a 23.
Yeah, you hit, you're like, this is crazy. You're like, that's the archway from back. That's the pillared hallway that you were just in. You're like, look at that. There's like a drawing of this, and it starts to kind of shake in your hand, and you're like, oh shit. And you throw it in front of you, away from you, way quick enough. And everyone kind of steps back, and as it does, you hear a voice. At first, it sounds like an echo through the chambers of this Undermountain, but then you hear it in your head, and you hear, that's mine! And the book is ripped.
Oh my god.
And pieces of it just start flying around the room and literally, disappear. And the book itself is still the shell of its binding. There's still some pages inside of it, but it is a much smaller portfolio than it was before. But it definitely is, as you get close to it, it's still kind of the pages in it still kind of seem to shift and move around. I mean, it's still...
It's not as hefty and encyclopedia-like as before.
Yeah, but it's still got some magic in it, you can tell.
Did it belong? Was that the Mad Mage? Am I to assume?
You want to roll an Arcana?
I'd love to.
Do you want to interact with it? The only reason it didn't burn you alive... Well, I won't say that. I'll wait for...
16.
What was your roll? 16?
Yes.
This is the ramblings of the Mad Mage.
Cool.
This is a magic item.
This book,
Yes.
what's left of it?
Yes. This is a very dangerous book. This is there is one page in particular that once you pick it up, the magical ink fills in the void, and you get a little bit of information. This book. It is the copy of. This is a notebook that was once owned by Hallister.
Okay.
This is not his spell book, but rather this is his work.
Mm-hmm.
This is all of his work on this mountain. it's going to take a while to work through all the kind of the backstory stuff. There's some of his diaries in here.
Right.
There's also different types of like magical incantations, different informations that you don't quite understand yet, and then most of the pages are missing. There is a note though, forged in a signature that you, handwriting that you recognize. It's the same handwriting that was on the wall, and the note says that it's a handwritten note, and it basically says, "I did it. I grabbed his workbook. Said without it, he will be forced to restart the entire project." He says, if you find this, use it to undo him. My days here, my fight here has only just begun." And it's signed Jasira. And what you can look through by looking through this, Jasira was Hollister's number 2 person.
How do you spell that?
Any way you want to. I spell them phonetically so I can remember how they're spelled, because the Forgotten Realms names are ridiculous. Jasira. She was his head person, his number 2, his gopher, and his main apprentice. And something happened between them that caused her to turn on him. And she did something. She did something to herself, and you don't know what, but you know that either she's a ghost or she set some sort of magic, but there is power in this book. Roll me 2d4s.
Can I borrow a D4? Actually, there's a whole tray of them over there.
By the way, this book is it's your magic item, and it's attuned to you already. You cannot unattune. You cannot unattune to it.
Sweet.
It chose you.
Chose me.
It's a quest item.
Did you have anything to do with this, my friend? Could you put this here for me? This is from you. This is from you, isn't it?
Alright, I get it.
4.
That's the first d4.
Sorry, no, 1 is 3 and the other is 1.
4 is what?
A 1 and a 3.
Okay. You find 4 pages inside of this book that are unlike any other. There are lots of pages that are now empty. Not only did the pages rip out of the book, but literally knowledge escaped the book. So it's a very magical set of documents. You learned.
Does that mean there's blank pages in there too?
What's that?
Blank.
There are some blank pages in there
the
too.
knowledge literally just
Evaporate.
So what you can find by looking at this book, and what the notes from Jasira says, is that you can rebuild this notebook. So that what you experienced right then was not Hollister actually, but rather a safety mechanism that the book has. So
Okay.
you have found out 3 things about the Undermountain, and you contain 1 page of power. He has multiple pages of power that will give you special abilities. And then once you complete the book, it will take on a new form and become a much more powerful tool.
Cool. Wait, so I get 4
You get-
pages?
You get 3 secrets of the Undermountain, and you get 1 page of power.
Gotcha.
Each D4 was one
Okay.
of those things. So go ahead and draw your 3 secrets.
Cool. Super cool.
This one right here. This is the one.
Why don't you read each of them out loud, one by one.
Underground forest. The river of the depths connects the 4th and 5th levels of the Undermountain, skirting the edges of vast caverns filled with trees, shrubs, birds, other animals, and sunlight. An entire forest, as real as any found on the surface, waits to be explored, but an archdruid protects it. And explorers travelling downriver have seen a huge green dragon as well, perched on a tower near a bridge that spans the river.
Cool. So
Forest.
one of the levels is a forest.
Cool.
And it looks, it has the facade of a sky, and it looks like an open air area.
Did it say which level?
No.
I forgot.
So between
second and third.
between a couple levels.
Third and
Really?
fourth.
What are you doing? Just waiting for her
I
to.
think there's a river that connects the second and third levels, right? That's what it says.
4th and 5th levels of the
Fourth and
Undermountain.
Cool.
Cool.
This one says Guild of Many Eyes.
A thieves' guild that was driven from Waterdeep long ago still lurks in the Undermountain, waiting and scheming to win back power in the city above. These villains make the sewers unsafe for honest folk to venture into. They have recently taken over Skullport, a subterranean town connected to the Undermountain. Tangled Web. Secret temples exist in great numbers in the Undermountain, particularly those of evil gods not welcomed in the city above. The vile servants of these deities are locked in an endless war for supremacy in the dark dungeon. Lolth, the demon queen of spiders, is the fiendish mastermind behind many of these bloody conflicts.
So fucking Lolth is here.
That's no good. Which means it's probably Drow. Sure. So what did we learn from the second one?
This one said Guild of Many Eyes.
Okay.
There's a Thieves
Yeah,
Guild.
yeah,
down
Thieves
here.
Just
Xanathar.
go down here.
Oh, fuck.
Guild of Many Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sound like a bunch of cut rates.
And just keep all those cards, Tara. Just keep all those cards with your
Okay.
cards.
With your card.
Cool.
Them ones.
These do.
Them's ones.
You also find that if
I
you
do.
that any of your free pages that you have from your spellbook will easily fold and fly into this binding.
Okay, cool.
But once they do not want to come back out.
Okay,
So this can be your spellbook now if you wanted to.
sweet. And I have a
Page of Power. Cool. Yeah. Roll me a
What's
d10.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah.
6.
Nice.
All right.
That's the one.
Is that the one?
I think so.
It's a good one.
So you can use an action to speak the words on this page. And would you roll 6?
Uh-huh.
This page is called the Best Defense, and it's a whole there's a whole little passage, and in the middle there's a little superscript that just has a little incantation. It can be whatever you want to speak. The Best Defense. The book floats in the air around you and protecting you. You gain a +2 to your AC, and do not provoke attacks of opportunity for 1 minute.
Cool.
Cool.
The book literally will fly around you and try to knock swords and stuff away.
That's awesome.
It's arrows and crap. Okay, cool. That's
It's like
it.
a swirling tornado.
Very cool.
That's it. Well, this book glows when it's near other pages.
Cool.
So you guys can look for more pages, and as you find them, they will appear.
Sweet.
And with that present seems to not be here anymore, and you guys are kind of left to your own machinations. Do you want to continue down the hallway into the next area? You can see that it's a big set of double doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Onward.
We're kind of looking for Skullport, right?
Yeah.
Who's one of them?
What are you looking for?
Skullport.
Why?
Why not?
Yeah, for sure. It's here. You can definitely get connected to it. It's a little. I think you would know it's lower. Skullport is probably. I think it would be common knowledge if you guys were adventuring this way that Skullport intersects somewhere below the third level. I think. So.
That's where Xanathar's guild is. In Skullport.
Okay, cool. You guys just want to go into the next space?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
You guys want to do anything else?
I don't do things anymore.
Not me.
You learned your lesson, did you?
Tasted all there is to taste. And had my fill.
Yeah, it's a big double door. It is not trapped. You can tell from your passives, and it is not locked. It is it's going to take 2 of you guys to push these doors, and they're set up so that you push them in and there is a big wooden slat on this side, so you'll have to move this big wooden slat and then push them in.
Okay.
Cool. So Zila grabs the slat, and you guys push the door open, and as you do, everyone roll me initiative.
Oh my god.
Do I have disadvantage on initiative because of my
How many
level of
HP do you
exhaustion?
It's only on checks.
How many HP do you
Saves is third level of exhaustion.
You're good?
Thank you.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh my.
Actually, I tell you what. Do you guys want to, before we start this combat, do you want to have a
Yeah.
quick break? We
Yeah.
want to use the bathroom and all that stuff. Okay, guys, we will be right back. All set and ready to fight. Give us, I don't know, 15 minutes. Who cares? Do what I want. I don't care. I do what I want.
I do what I want.
I do what I want because I'm the dungeon manager.
And y'all can suck it.
Y'all can suck. All right, everybody. See you. Alright, we're back. Hello.
How you doing?
As far as getting things ready,
Zach, don't talk.
I'm gonna break your hearts. We're just gonna do this theater of the mind.
No! Okay.
No!
My heart is broken.
What happened? Your heart's hard?
So we're just gonna do this theater of
It's
the mind.
withered.
Oh.
The teeth.
I don't know who I'm gonna figure out who to hit. I don't know.
I don't know how I'm gonna
Oh,
do it here.
Yeah.
Because as you walk into this, as you open this door, two things strike you. It's space. It is a humongous space. Not two things. Okay, poor Kaylin. All right, Kaylin. Well, we love you.
Oh.
We'll see you next week.
Sorry, Kaylin.
Watch
I
those.
love you, bro.
Fuck you, Kaylin.
Yeah, suck it, Kaylin.
Suck it, Kaylin.
His heart is broken. He cannot be here. You guys be nice to
Aw.
Kaylin.
Yeah, that's what we mean.
But
That's why we
like,
told
yeah,
him to
that's why I
suck
told him
it.
Should I change
Suck
this to
it.
Dungeon Mom?
No, I get
Yeah.
weirded out every time I see that mom has commented something. Every time I'm like, what? Oh,
People
and then I
don't-
Trust me,
realize.
I know.
Seeing the word mom is just like,
It's-
don't.
Oh, it's startling.
Oh, I know.
It's
I know.
startling.
No, it got me. It got me. She's like, yesterday.
True.
I was like,
We message each other.
Wait.
Okay.
what?
Everyone,
Stop
shut up.
talking to me.
What is? Did we
You
roll-
shut up, mom.
Did you roll initiative?
Yes.
Oh, I don't
Oh,
remember.
yes, I did, and I rolled a natural 20.
Oh! Fwin, fwin,
remember what I
fwin!
Actual.
That worked.
That seems appropriate.
Are we rolling again?
I
didn't
don't
remember
remember
what
what I rolled.
I never rolled in the first place because I was like, we're going straight. So that would be great.
Sounds like a lot of cheating.
Are you?
I'm pretty sure it got worse.
Because I'm not cheating. Were you cheating?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, me, of course.
Do death.
The biggest cheater.
Cheater, pumpkin.
God is such a
Cheater.
huge
Cheater.
cheater.
Pants are on
But I was
fire.
gonna play with Dal.
Oh my
Oh
God,
my god.
Jake.
Oh my god, though.
Oh my cat.
Oh my god, though.
You okay?
Oh, Minerva.
Oh, cat man.
Cat.
Man do. What'd you roll, Sela?
6.
Not good.
I'll just
What
be
did you
back
roll
here.
a nat 20,
I
Nervy?
did.
Nervy.
Meryl. Your guys' names are too similar.
We did that on purpose.
I know.
It's better
Not
than Morn
sorry.
and Dorn, though.
We didn't do that on purpose, though.
That makes it more stupid.
That does make it more stupid.
I'm kidding. I love you.
That's my very first character.
You should feel bad now.
I always feel bad. That's my
What was
secret.
your
That's my
first
secret,
character's
Captain.
name? What was
I
your,
always
I-
feel bad.
what
What?
was your first character's name?
Rendalo.
Yeah.
Rendola was your first one?
Yeah.
Rindalo.
My playing with Jake. I mean, like a start ever was Rendalo.
What did you roll, Kara?
20.
No, not.
No, not 20.
Not that 20.
She's gonna be this unicorn. We need to get you some filament.
Come
Girl.
at me,
Get
bro.
you
What's the
some
higher
filament.
dex?
I'll print you a
What's your
little
dex?
thing and stuff.
What's
Some
your dex
gear.
score?
Super cheap.
We got a 3D printer and we print all of our
No,
stuff.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Threw it down on one as a group. Everyone bought me one because they're sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Brandon, what did you roll?
21.
Oh my god, you guys, when your rolls come down.
You calm down.
What did you roll? Kitty cat.
Kid cat.
19.
Nervy. Is she Minerva?
Yes.
I like Nervy. That's a cute nickname for Minerva.
That's like cute.
No. No one calls her that but me.
Eyes are stuck.
It is only my nickname.
They don't come back now.
I'd check.
Okay, and let's see.
Nerdy.
What'd you roll?
Not nat 20.
Oh my god. Who's going first between. Who else rolled a 20?
Me.
Kara.
Yeah.
The unicorn.
Do you.
His dex is a 20.
Yeah, whose dex is higher?
Yeah, his.
Okay.
Definitely his.
There we go. Let's see what. So you guys, the room is lit. There is torches on the wall. So this place is inhabited. It smells. It smells of feces. It smells of death. It smells of animal. It is covered in all sorts of littered with crap. The space is just full of just junk, people's discarded gear. And then there are 3 huge mounds, and on each of those mounds and 3 separate corners of this room are 3 manticores.
Oh,
A
but
manticore
Oh.
is a beast.
oh,
It's real.
What?
I have disadvantage on everything.
I'll just show you what manticore looks like.
Would a supreme healing potion fix a level of exhaustion?
Nope.
let's see.
Oh my gosh.
So it looks like a lion. It has the face of a horrible humanoid. It has several rows of teeth that go down its throat. It has spines, and its teeth and these spines all rotate as if it is mechanical. It is not mechanical. It is a flesh and blood horrible monstrosity. It has a barbed tail and big wings that look like a maybe like a drake's wings. They're just big. And it's horrifying, and there are 3 of them in this room. They were sleeping until you guys made a big ruckus and kicked open their door, and they're probably hungry. And they're gonna.
Can we feed him tag?
You can do whatever you want.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna rip their face off.
Don't you dare fucking touch my squire. Don't you fucking do it.
That's a quick way to lose your character. Just to like
Yeah.
Dell is now evil.
Yeah,
It's just like now I take Dell.
And
Just kidding.
I know you're kidding.
dude, because if he takes your character, he's gonna take my character because Sayla's gonna defend Dell, and then I'm
Monster 3. This little tongue guy will be the manticores.
You do that though.
So they're like
I got you.
like cat like stretching, and then all 3 of them let out these horrible roars, and then all 3 of them say, "It's time," and the other one says, "Hunger," and then the other one goes, "Feed." So they all also kind of speak, and they're horrible. What do you do, witchy woman?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Do you have a spell attack?
Yes. Can I cast sleep on all 3 of them? Wait, how many are there?
There are 3 of them.
Yes.
They are not next to each other. Each of them are a good, we'll say at any
This
given
just-
point, each of them are 75 feet apart from each other when this battle starts. So they're all kind of at any corner of this place.
Oh, I have to be within
There are
20.
a series of doors. There are 3 sets of doors directly across from you guys. So it's like you can. This looks like it was once a large like dining hall, but it's been turned into this manticore pen. And there are 3 large doors. There's another set of double doors to the south, also in this room. So if you were looking at other ways to get out, it is. I'll draw it for you. Sorry. I'll draw it for you.
Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points? Wait. Of creatures this spell can affect.
Yeah, so you pull them all together. So this is, you guys are coming in this way. There's a manticore here. There's a manticore here. There's a manticore only 30 feet away from you guys.
Right next to
Yeah, about 30 feet away from you guys. This door is closed. These doors are closed. It's big double doors, single doors. And then there's just shit everywhere. It is difficult terrain to move around this space. There's so much. There are piles and piles of humanoid bones. There's probably some magical gear in this room, but you're going to have to look for it.
Yeah, let's kill these manticores. Do the thing.
Be sneaky and go find the gear since you have to.
Alright, so you're going to cast sleep on them?
I'd like to try to cast sleep.
All right,
there's
roll,
like magical gear and stuff in
let's
there, but we have
roll
to find it.
your-
You go find the gear while we
5d8.
fight this stuff and see if you can find anything cool to help us.
Let's see.
It's true.
That is
Search
this
is
one.
an action.
Can I have 4d8?
4d8.
Dope.
Would anyone like to contribute
Trying to
to
sleep.
the roll?
Trying to sleep
To the
up
power of the roll?
What's the range on
sorry.
sleep?
90.
No.
1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4.
so
Yeah,
that's
just
the
one
round.
more. Thank you.
You said 90?
I'm sorry, let's see. Creatures within 20 feet of a point I choose
Alright,
within
you're
range.
only going to be able to cast this on one of the manticores. Because they're not close to each other.
Then why does this also say range is 90 feet?
Because it's a 20-foot point, but you can do it up to 90 feet away.
I
You can
see.
hit any one of them, but you can only hit a 20-foot point, and they are more than 20 feet away from each other.
Okay. So I can only cast it on one.
Yeah, you can only cast it on one. You want to cast it on the one that's right next to you guys?
Yeah.
That's only 30 feet away from you? That's
Yeah.
probably a good move.
So I don't need to roll these d8s then.
No, you do.
Oh.
You roll. You're trying to roll more d8s than it has hit points. If you roll more, it falls asleep.
Trying to go
That-
over his
okay.
If it doesn't, it
What
will
level are
stay
you
away.
casting it?
Yeah, if I cast it at second level or higher, roll an additional 2d8 for each spell slot above the first.
You want
Can I
another
cast
one?
it at third?
If you want to, that might be a good idea. These
You want
are
another one?
Yeah.
That's
Thanks.
4 more.
these are large-sized creatures. These creatures are as big as this table. They're huge. Manticores are horrible, huge creatures.
Okay.
They can fly.
Yeah, let's make this guy fall asleep so we can take care of the other dudes.
Wait.
Shoot.
I want to see.
13, 14.
$31.
Yeah. So you cast the magic, and the sensory effect happens, and the Manticore like laughs
God.
because it is not sleepy.
Not sleepy. Hungry.
No.
God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Ouch.
I guess they're
Nice.
smarter than that. They have intelligence of 7s. I'm not sleepy. No, not yet. I will be after I'm full.
No, it's no.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I tried.
Valiantly.
Can I take can I try to hide?
No, you use your action to cast a spell. You do not have a feature that allows you to do a bonus action to hide. So,
Okay.
and there's really, you can like make your way back out into the hallway so you're behind everybody. You can not be in the front easily. You guys aren't inside this room yet. You like stepped inside and
Okay.
yeah. So if you want to put like everyone between you in the thing, you can definitely do that.
Sure.
I'm up.
That's
We didn't establish a marching order. I'm up front. Are you behind me? Okay. Are
Very
you up there with
nearly,
me, or are you in the back?
I'm.
Well, this time you guys, I had to open that big double door. So
Oh, yeah.
remember, you were on either side of each other. You're all kind of like in a semicircle
Okay.
around this door. You're
Okay.
not quite inside the space, but the manticores can follow you
I'm moving
into.
inside the space.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Okay, go for it, team. I'm gonna
Next.
get
Yeah.
a spell
you'll just-
together.
So Meryl just kind of slinks to the back, and you guys kind of move through. And Dell, what do you do?
I move up to the Manticore.
The one that's about 30 feet away from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you come in, and as you walk up, it like sees you, and then like kind of gets like right and ready and like playful. Like this is awesome. This is a group of adventurers. What fun.
And I just take up 2 5-foot squares in front of me with 2 bear traps that I took from there.
Cool. So you just throw out 2 bear traps.
And then back up again.
All right.
I move like 15 feet
Yeah.
forward and
Yeah,
10
for
feet
sure.
back.
Just put between you guys, so they're like 15 feet away from it, and you still have enough room to get back behind.
It has
Okay.
to kind of go around them and go maybe towards the wall between, or it definitely has
You
to.
can't
like,
get all the way up to it.
No,
at 30
I'm
feet.
not saying that.
Yeah.
I just mean like, it's like it. I'm just making it go. I'm just spacing it out a little, making it go towards a specific direction if it has
okay.
to, unless it can very.
So you're trying to keep it so that they have to come in a straightforward fashion, as opposed to being
instead
able
of
to
like
cut
once
the
we like come
diagonal
into
cut.
the room, we'll have like
Gotcha.
those on one side and the wall on the other.
Gotcha. Cool. You want to get behind them and make a high check with your
No.
bonus action?
I don't have time. I use 2 traps and
Oh, yeah.
use my fast hand.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right. Kara, what do you do?
We got 4 actions essentially.
There's one of these manticores that are close enough that you can run up to and interact with. The other 2 are on the other side of this big coliseum.
It's 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then can I just cast Witch Bolt?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
When you cast a spell, do you also get to make an attack?
That's what I was gonna ask you, because she has action surge and she has 2 attacks.
Well, if she's an Eldritch Knight, she should have a feature that allows her to. Let me pull it up real quick.
it actually says-
Let's figure it
It
out.
says only
Figure it
once,
out.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I mean, in one turn, she
Yeah.
could potentially do that much attacking. Yeah.
She has 2 actions anyway.
Yeah. So she's level 6. She has 2 attacks, not 2 actions.
Yeah.
So the attacks are not. You cannot sub out attacks for spells to
Okay.
answer that question. But there is a thing that it does that kind of does that. So 6 level. Yeah. Oh. Nope.
At 7th level.
That's 7th level. Next level you'll be able to. Next level, when you use your action to cast a cantrip, you can make a weapon as a bonus action. So if you use a cantrip that's a full action, you can make an attack as a bonus action. That's cool. And then at level 18, you'll be able to. I feel like.
But you can do your Witch Bolt this turn.
Yeah, but you can do your Witch Bolt. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I rolled a 2, but I had an inspiration.
Yeah,
so-
use that hero point.
Yes.
Reroll it.
0 point.
You want another one? I'll send one over to
Try
you.
again.
Sure.
Shoot one to you with an arrow.
Yes, I will. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. 18.
Well, technically you're gonna add that too.
Oh,
That's your spell attack bonus. Yeah.
26.
Nice.
That hits.
Jesus.
Yeah. The Witch Bolt, what does it look
I
like?
think it's 2.
How do you see that in your head?
2 12s.
It's like an arc of like blue-ish lightning,
Cool.
and it's a 9.
Hold on.
Hell yeah.
Wait. Oh no, you're just first level. It's only D20.
Cool.
Sorry, first
So,
level,
that is a concentration spell. So what I'm going to do is... Oh, shoot. I'm going to use somebody else's paddle. I'm going to use... I'll use Lauren's paddle.
That's perfect. That's your favorite color.
Okay. And this little guy now signifies that you're using a concentration spell. So all you have to do is maintain this.
But it's the first
Yeah,
one.
switch the unicorn and the pink one.
Cause,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Let's use a unicorn. Thank you. So like that. So you have the concentration on the spell, and now on each of your turns you can use your action to deal a 1d12 lightning damage. That's awesome. The only thing about it is it ends if you use your action to do anything else. So you can't use that action on your subsequent turns to make attacks. You have to like maintain this, but you can do anything you can do as a bonus action.
You can make attacks. You don't have to maintain it as an option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just if you want the spell to keep going, but it lasts up to a minute, so that's basically a whole fight. So if you want to do the rest, and now you don't make attack rolls anymore. Now you just deal it damage each turn.
Cool.
Which
Yeah.
is invaluable.
So
Yeah.
so I would suggest just like once you got the bolt on it, keeping your
Having that
distance,
certainty is a effect.
and and just like
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, well I do you more
Damage.
damage.
Just do more damage. I don't even have to go.
all right. How much damage did you deal it? I'm sorry.
9. 9.
9.
Annoying.
Oh, 9.
Oh,
Annoying. All right.
At 17.
This manticore's coloration is white and bright orange.
White and bright orange.
Mm-hmm. It looks like almost like giraffe. Like it's got like spots, these like big brown orange spots on it, and then it has this like bright orange mane.
I hate these things, man.
The one in the back left corner is, if you're looking in the room, is going to be brown and red, and then there's one that is jet black. And okay, cool. All right, can you do anything else? You got any bonus actions you can do?
I don't really know.
Do you have any spells that are bonus actions? Does she have any spells that she only has a handful of cantrips, right? 2.
She only has 2 cantrips and they're not bonus actions.
Okay, cool.
And her other spells aren't bonus
All right,
actions.
cool. There you go.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good enough.
And then you didn't even have to get out of the doorway. So if you want to, you can use your movement to get back. You just have to maintain like eye line with this thing to maintain the concentration on the spell. If it like gets out of your sight, you won't be able to maintain the concentration on it. So you can kind of get back into the doorway, so you can have like 3/4 cover and still be like looking at it if you want to.
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, Halleck.
Alright, I'm shooting Defender directly at this one that's to
Nice.
the left of us, right?
Yeah, it's right to the left.
Okay.
It's right to the left of you.
Directly left.
Directly left.
directly left.
Be careful
It's
of my
directly to the left of you.
Okay, I'm using a hero point because I don't like that. Goodness gracious.
Need one?
I have another one. I'll just use it now. That depletes me. So
Noted.
Oh, I have some.
okay. That's a 20 on that 20.
That hits.
And then I'm gonna do a grasp shot.
Cool.
So
Is there a size restriction on that? Does it have to be medium or smaller? Because these are large creatures. It may not be. I mean,
Let me pull it up real
It's
quick.
magic.
It's magic, man.
It might just work.
Shoot, right.
Arcane shot. This one is which one?
I've got it right here. It's, the grasp.
Grasping arrow.
It doesn't.
Nope, doesn't say.
Yeah, it doesn't
Cool.
say.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Just.
whatever.
All right. Does that have to make a? Let's see. Strikes the target.
It's 2d6
Extra damage and it's each time it takes its first move. Awesome. Cool. So yeah, so these brambles, they just constrict the manticore, the orange and white manticore.
So 6 and 2 more d6. 4.
This one says no. Ouch.
11, and then I rolled a 6, so it's 17 damage, and then also the little brambles take him.
Yeah, for sure. A lot loses 10 feet of speed, and then will take damage whenever it moves.
Yeah.
On the first time it moves on a turn, basically it takes damage.
Yep.
So you said 19.
All day, I said 16.
Okay, cool. Alright. Anything else?
I'm gonna, and then I'm just gonna shoot another arrow at him. I can attack again.
Yeah, as one does.
That is 17 to hit.
That hits.
Sweet.
A 10, 13 damage.
That is 13 damage.
Nice.
13 damages.
So that's one of my arrows.
Nice, yeah, so you hit him that time. You hit him right below its eye, and it growls and then emits this gigantic roar, and its whole gullet shakes, and you can just see for a second, you just have a clear sight down this row. It's maybe got 8 or 9 sets of teeth.
Goodness
And
gracious.
you just don't want it to get close to you. And in your periphery, you can all kind of see the other two kind of licking their lips and blowing kisses my way. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give it away. Baby. I can't not
You did
say
it.
licking my lips and not sing Christina Aguilera. That is a rule.
Just think about
It's
it.
a nice rule to have in the books.
It's a Mad Mage dungeon rule. He's crazy. All right. Anything else?
I guess I can.
A bonus action?
No, I don't. I just didn't know if I want to move at all. I think I should probably. We can step back out into the.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah,
go?
just stay close.
I'm just gonna take a step or two back.
Yeah, and you can
stay
push
close.
yourself up against the edge of the other side. She's on one side and you're on the other, and that gives you what did I say? 3/4. Yeah, 3/4 cover because you can kind of
Yeah.
turn back out.
Cool.
Since
And
you're
I
both
just
kind
took
of looking at me.
sharpshooter, so.
Perfect. So you ignore it and everybody else has it. Perfecto. All right, Minervi,
Kitty.
So,
Which
I'm gonna take a couple steps forward in front. Everyone's relatively close together, right? All of us.
Oh,
Yeah, you're all within 30 feet of each other.
Okay, I'm gonna step in front of everyone, kind of. I don't want to get too close to one of the.
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah, as soon as you step out into the room, you're 30 feet away, basically, from
Dragon.
that manticore, and
Yeah.
you're still like 15 feet away from the trap.
I'm gonna clear my throat and let out this awful, unearthly and summon a hound of ill omen.
Yeah, okay.
You do, but instead of a hound, it's a big cat.
Dope. Into it.
It's not a large prey cat, it's a giant house cat.
Yes!
Dope. I want
It's
it
a big
to be.
shadow house cat.
Can it be
that's
like
awesome.
orangey and have
amazing.
stripes and?
Only in like its form because it's like incorporeal. Like it
Okay.
doesn't quite have substance.
Okay.
It is a shadow.
Uh-huh.
So it can like have like the
No,
semblance
just a
of
black
that.
cat
Or
effect.
I mean I would imagine it can look almost like an iridescent where you look at it and you can see the color on it, but
Mhm.
it looks like a big shadow when it's kind of moving around.
Dope.
It isn't until like it pounces and is static that you can kind of see that it's like an orange and like beautiful cat. And as it moves around, it's like a smoky form of a cat. You know what I mean?
Dope.
All right, yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
and it's like medium size, so it's not even huge, right? Like a hound of Illumin's still dog size.
Yeah,
it's just like the size of a dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this big.
House cat.
Big old cat.
Uh-huh.
So I need to roll initiative for him
Let's just keep it on your turn.
on my turn.
Yeah.
Dope. Cool. Well, once she's summoned. I'm gonna have to roll on this. She's going to. Do I still use direwolf stats?
Yeah, for sure. It
Dope.
is.
That's
only
what it said to use.
It's only cosmetically.
Yeah, cat.
A cat.
Cool.
Well,
Well,
you summon a dire wolf.
cool. Then.
Dire wolves are
It's
scary.
called the Hound of Illumin, correct? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hound of Illumin.
Cool.
So as long as one of us is within 5 feet of it, it'll have advantage on its attack side.
Oh my gosh, she hasn't moved until I literally just said that.
Yes. Oh yeah, and this is only a bonus
it's
action.
pack tactics,
It's not-
right? And
It's pack tactics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kitty.
It appears with a
It's
number of
not once
temporary
a
hit
day or
points, so
anything.
it's
No,
got
Bonus action.
6 hit points.
It only has 6 hit points.
I think so. I think that or is it
It said to.
half your level? Okay, so it's 3. So no.
It
you
appears
can't
with
do
a
that.
number of temporary hit points equal to half your
Yeah.
sorcerer level. So those are the only hit points it has then.
Mm.
Or because Direwolf has 37 hit points, so I thought it was.
No, I bet it keeps its hit points. I think it just gets extra hit points.
Yeah,
That-
the
that- yeah,
temporary
it has
bonus.
its normal hit
On
points.
top of-
That's just to bolster it as
Dope.
you
on
as
top
you.
of the
okay,
base.
cool.
Dope.
I was like,
You
Would
can
be
move through other
That's
creatures
what I
Yes.
was thinking.
as if they were difficult terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, once you guys are inside the space, remember you guys are kind of fine because you've been running in around the fringe of it. But as you get into their den, it's gonna
It's
be
hard
difficult.
to
It's all
traverse,
difficult
yeah.
terrain.
It's a bunch of gross
Can
stuff.
blah blah blah. Once it knows the hound's location,
Bones.
so bonus action you can spin that. Blah blah blah. So the hound's in occupied space within 30 feet. Roll initiative. Target by the most. So you pick a target, I guess, when you cast it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
so-
just gonna choose the most foremost
the closest
manticore.
one. Yeah, that makes most sense. Additionally, let's see 5 feet. The target has disadvantage. It can make
Against any
opportun-
spell I cast.
Uh-huh. And it can make opportunity attacks, but only against that.
Mm-hmm.
Hound appears reduces 0 hit points. Okay, 5 minutes. That's very cool. Awesome, I love that. So it shows up and it gets there and it's gonna like occupy its space and make it like be like, oh, I have to deal with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it has this aura of shadow that makes your spells more effective
Mm-hmm.
against the creature. That's really cool.
Can I spin it as a claw attack, so a bite attack, but
Yeah, of
attack
course,
but
yeah.
use the same
Yeah, just use
stats
them
or whatever?
stats. Yeah.
Dope. Cool. Then Kitty Cat is gonna go play with the manticore.
And then he can do like regular attacks and opportunity attacks. Yeah, you just get the cool.
And I'm going to. No, I'm not gonna stay close. That's gonna be a 22 to hit.
Right.
Little armored kitty.
11.
Yeah, armor.
Yeah, oh yeah.
11 damage.
11
Oh, yeah.
shadow cat damage.
Nice. Does it only get one attack? Does
Two
Direwolf
hit for
have
battle.
multi-attack?
It doesn't say multi-attack.
Okay. Yeah.
However, it was a bonus action for me to summon this, so do I still get an action of a spell?
Yeah. You
Okay.
still get an action in this
Dope.
turn. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So it jumps out and it does its attack and it's kind of been hit back because it did not expect that. And
Like,
go,
what?
Go ahead and cast your.
And it has disadvantage on my spells I cast on it now, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I cast it first. Dope.
And it can like follow things. So if there's something that you're ever on the run from you, you can cast it and hit the target, and the shadow, the cat of Itlomin will always know the direction in which to like follow it. So for 5 minutes, you can help it. It can help you track things. Like there's a lot of like cool things this thing can do.
Dope.
I like it.
So then I'm
I
going
like it
to.
too.
Thanks.
My friend.
I'm gonna cast Fireball then. And
Nice.
can I spin it to where it's lit, since I don't have fingers and stuff to point out? I want it to be like a Roman candle, just like pop, pop, pop of the like fireballs.
Yes, but the way Fireball works is it's actually you don't produce the fireball. You just pick a point and a ball of fire erupts.
Dope.
So,
So I'm just gonna go. Meow.
I would let you know though that this thing is pretty bad off. Like after it hits it,
Okay.
you may not want to spend a fireball on this creature, but on one of the other ones, even though they don't have disadvantage.
Cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well,
It just like it looks so. It's already like
We thoroughly
yeah,
fucked
yeah,
up so
yeah.
far.
right.
it's missing part of its face now because of the shadow cat.
I haven't done a thing.
Same.
You got
I
good
love
friends.
No, I thought that's what I mean. I'm just like Sailor's literally back there like,
Good job, you guys.
Great.
In fact,
Exactly
you probably,
why you're
in
Yeah,
fact, you
exactly.
probably think this is because of you all along, right?
yes.
There we go.
She,
Absolutely.
She
Okay.
feels
Okay.
responsible.
You're having like a moment right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
actually.
You always have that guilt.
My team is a badass.
All right.
All of these.
What
They're here for me.
I'm gonna ice knife them.
We're destined
Nice.
for greatness.
There you go.
We're
because
all,
of it.
yep.
This is
Um,
just step number one.
but it's a range.
She's a
spell, so
megalomaniac,
that's
dude,
safe,
yeah,
so-
for sure.
I imagine like.
All right,
a
so
round of,
you
like,
ice
yeah.
knife the Manicore.
She's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
she's just not even
Rabbit.
holding her, but she's like standing there or next to her, just like, whenever y'all are ready.
That was bad.
Basically just slam the doors open and we're just like,
19 to hit.
We're
19
here.
hits.
Okay.
You hit the Manicore right in the head.
Oh,
Nice.
it's gonna be bad.
3 piercing damage. And then
Pierced.
4 cold damage.
Got cold.
How do you kill it?
Yeah!
So I wanted to just be pretty like simultaneous with my giant shadow cat attacking.
Mm-hmm.
So just like scratch, and the moment it realizes that there's this fucking shadow cat on it, just like ice.
Yeah,
That's
just like and you when it happens
fucking rad.
for a moment you can see in its eyes this is an intelligent creature, not super intelligent, but intelligent enough to know that
It's dying.
fuck. it knows it's dying. So go ahead and have a hero point because that's really awesome.
Hooray!
Killing
Way
it.
to use
I'm
your-
not done yet.
Huh?
I'm not done yet.
Hooray.
Nice.
I'm going all fucking out. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Kitty's got moves.
I'm gonna
Any
ice
more
knife.
actions?
I have sorcery stuff, meta magic
Uh huh.
to do things.
Uh huh.
So I'm gonna twin this and ice knife another manticore.
There you go.
God.
Nice. Perfect.
I'm gonna
why the fuck not?
Why not,
Yeah,
man?
why-
Why not?
It's just sitting there
I
waiting.
can do that.
Why not both?
She's just emptying the chambers.
She's like-
So one thing you guys notice, and she does not notice this because she's in the middle of casting all these spells, is that as these spells are being cast, you see her shadow and the light from the motes that you're.
I don't have a
casting.
shadow.
I know.
Oh, okay.
She didn't have a shadow, but her shadow has started to appear, but it is not the shadow of a cat. It is the shadow of a. How old are you? 16,
30-ish.
30ish. Oh, it is a human shadow, and they're doing these elaborate like components and like casting these
But the
spells.
cat's just meow.
Yeah, the cat's just sitting there, like not like barely moving, and there's this like epic like dance, and it's only happening as like the spells fire off. You can see
That's
these
dope.
things.
That's so cool.
But whenever you're not casting spells, yeah, you just don't have a shadow.
Cool.
And sad.
Well, 26 to hit with a different manicore with an ice knife.
Okay, cool.
I
You
don't-
want to hit brown and red or jet black?
Jet black.
Ooh.
Go for it. Go for big black. And then.
Panther core.
Panther core.
Manta Pant.
8 piercing damage,
Oh, nice.
and then can I get a couple extra d6s?
Can I
get a
D6?
What are yours, sister?
It will give you 3.
14 cold damage,
Yeah.
Nice. Damn. That's crazy.
and then I'm going to
I don't think you can do anything else unless it specifically says
quickened makes this.
you've already used a bonus action.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then do.
There was like no way.
I thought I could keep going, man.
I know there's
I'm
one
gonna spend
there's one
all
mana
my
magic that says
points.
you can do it even if other ones have been done. I just can't remember what it is right now. Okay, yeah,
I
that
was
is a
just,
ton
like,
of shit. That's awesome.
Slow nodding the whole time.
You know,
they were
have
doing
two hero points. I feel like that was an epic
Do
moment
it!
for you.
Plan.
Yeah, that was
Like,
badass.
yep,
I love
keep
that.
doing that. Keep doing that.
Yeah, you just max
That's
damage.
insane.
Is my cat still here? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it lasts for 5 minutes, so it will last for this entire fight. And
Can I change its target to the black one now?
It will just move. Let's just make it an easy thing where it's like you don't really control it. It's just kind of a force. So
Okay.
unless you're like using it to track, that would be the only time I'd say when you cast it, you can pick it. But
Okay.
after that, it just goes to whoever's closest, and
Good.
it's just going to like go crazy on them.
Okay.
It's not really like a conscious being.
But it knows like allies from enemies.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
It's your will incarnate. It's a manifestation of your dark, shadowy power. I just love saying will incarnate. Let's get some music going.
I am willing. I'm willing.
Now to figure out how many mana points I have. Casting that now is only 3 out of 36.
Walking past.
You're already just like danger.
Playing on the stream. This is a bad idea. Right now, we can't play copyrighted music. I meant to put it in the room because it doesn't come in the mix, and instead I put it like front and center.
Listen
It's
to
like,
this.
oh, by the way.
Listen to this song I don't have the rights to. Alright, let's do that from my phone. Because you can't hear the music when it's like
Yeah.
in the room. Trying to get a suit. Stop it.
I know it sounded just like it. I've just really been practicing that mouth trumpet.
Alright, cool. That was a great move.
That was insane.
Before their turn.
Can't want to follow that up now. I'm good.
These things roar and they simultaneously leap. They definitely saw you casting spells. You
Yeah, you
are positioned right behind those traps, you said.
Yeah.
So that kind of forces them. They see those and they kind of have to. One of them is what basically what's going to happen. One of them is going to go low and towards you, and the other one is going to fly over your head and go towards people in the doorway.
Okay.
The jet black one is the one that comes after you, and it lands right in front of you, and it lets out another roar, and it's going to swipe at you with its claw. Its humongous claw. Its claw is like as big as it could crush a person's
Okay.
torso, so it's humongous compared to you. What's your AC?
14, but I will cast shield.
Nice.
So that makes it 19.
Cool. And when you do that, it was just going to like crush down on you, and you
And like a bubble appears. I
Yeah.
want it to literally be like a magic bubble.
yeah, and it's like a stop effect. It's like they stop the camera. There's a glass bubble there that was not there before. Camera goes back up, and it like hits down. And when the Manticore's paw hits the shield, you can see the shield go like start to like fissure a little bit. But it definitely does not break it. And in that flash of light, your shadow can be seen like throwing up like a hands trying to like make a shield.
That's really cool.
And then it's going to try to like push down with its weight and like bite the shell.
Okay. So does it leave it still at 19 then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just mostly for flavor.
It's your AC to the end of the
Yeah, and it like gets on there, and like you're like a mouse. It's like a cat, and you're like a mouse inside of like a gerbil ball right now, and it's like it can't get its a grip on the ball, and it looks really silly. It looks like a big cat, like, and it's like the ball's too big for it to like push down. It's like wood chipper mouth. I've used wood chipper twice in this session, so it's just like struggling with you and loses all of its attacks. It is now in the hallway, so both of you guys are right there.
If it comes within 10 feet, I get an attack of opportunity.
Do it. This one is the red and brown one.
You lost your concentration
Oh no.
ring.
Well, I mean, can
18.
The thing I was targeting died, so can I still use it?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul.
You can't just deal that damage to non-existent.
I want to see you do 4 attacks in a row.
18.
18 hits.
Alright, its speed is now 0.
Nice. Yeah. So it's flying in, and you push out your halberd and just get a good like stab into it, and literally like push it into the ground.
Yeah.
And it like stops flying.
It does 14 damage.
Nice.
Nice.
And yeah, and then you've got like the pole in its like chest right here, and it like tries to reach out and it hits you, and it cannot reach you, and it flicks its tail.
Okay, yeah.
And then these 2 barbs fly at you.
Oh yeah,
Oh, no.
I know, and Manicore tails.
No.
They'll get you every time.
Oh, I know. All about.
And the first one's in that 1, so it misses.
Good.
Roll a d4. See if it does anything fun.
2.
The barb flies past you and it hits one of these pillars. They're in this hallway that you've been walking through. This one hits right in the chest of this like king that's like holding up this mantle, and you see that it breaks. It's like plaster, and there's some sort of hidden compartment inside.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the other one hits you. So you're like, oh, that's interesting. Ow!
Yeah.
Right in the chink in the armor.
Right in the old armor.
You're gonna take 7 damage. 7 piercing damage. Okay, cool. That is the Manticore's turn.
Is there one left?
2 left.
There are 2 left.
Okay.
There's one.
Black one in an
There's one wrestling with her outside inside the stadium area, trying to get into her magic shell, and then there is one that's in the hallway that Sela just basically pinned to the ground for a second, but now it's kind of got itself free and is kind of in that space with you guys. So you're all like you're all within like 5 feet of it. It's very close to all of you. So.
Cool.
Or like 15 feet. You could have stepped. You didn't step back.
I kept it 10 feet away.
Yeah. So you're all within 10 feet of it. All right, Sela, it's your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna attack this thing in front of me.
Do it.
That's 18 and a 28. 2 attacks.
Those both hit. Stab, stab. Slice, slice.
I don't have any more traits.
Or 26 damage.
Yeah.
And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Nice.
And I'm going to cast it on the one that's... Or cast it over by the one that's biting at her, like, I'm trying to get her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make an attack for it. It's a 22 to hit.
That hits.
For 7 damage.
They're the same guy, right?
No, the one that's
that's
attacking
one
her.
outside. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
And my spiritual weapon is a pike like this, and it just like stabs him.
Nice. I honestly don't think your paladin should have a deity. I think that your
Idea of myself.
it should be like a megalomaniac thing,
Yeah.
and it should be like you your belief in your con. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and now you're out hunting for magics and like runes and stuff. Like you don't need destiny to like give you credence to give yourself power, and as you grow in power, you kind of become these things.
Cool.
And that's your code. So as long as you stick to like this like me first to me like I'll take care of the world kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Your powers continue to manifest.
Dope. I'm into it.
Maybe you want to be a god, you know?
Yeah. Oh
This
yeah.
is an extra thing in the episode.
Cool. Or maybe they come from somewhere dangerous.
Definitely.
Maybe you're a
Like,
warlock
do you
after
care
all.
for
Whoa. Alright.
You didn't know this.
Anything else, Sayla?
No.
All straight.
It was a whole surprise.
Yeah.
Booga.
Uh,
Booga.
I'm sorry. We just talked about this, but I'm just clarifying.
Range.
So she has an extra attack, so she can like hit with her short sword, then hit with her vortex for her 2 attacks.
Yeah, she's doing two-handed. Yeah.
Cool. She has bonus action spells.
Yep.
She can use that as bonus action, but that's not part of action surge.
No, action surge. So, to break it down real simply, you can do 3 things that cost you action economy each turn, and that's a move, that's an action, that's a bonus action. So the bonus action is completely independent of action. So if you got spells that are bonus actions, you can do them regardless
They don't cost
of
any
the other
movement
things,
area.
unless you cast other spells, blah blah blah. But if you do an action surge, you get your action back. So if you take your attack, you get 2 attacks in your attack action. So if you do an action surge and you're like, I want to attack again, you'll get 4 attacks total.
Okay.
And then if you want to, if you have a bonus actions, like spell, you can,
Which you don't have right
which you
now.
don't have right now. But if you did, you could.
If you.
So I can't use action surge to do like a melee hit and then a spell.
You could, yeah. So you could.
That's- okay.
So it takes an action to do your attack action, and you get 2 attacks there. It takes an action to do a spell that has a casting time of an action. So you could do it. You could take 2 attacks, or you can split up your attacks. So you could do an attack as part of your first attack action. You could action surge, cast a spell, and then you could take your second attack from your first attack action if you wanted to. You could attack twice in a turn and cast a spell.
So
or
like you could hit with a weapon 4 times, or you could do 2 hits and a spell.
Yeah, but you only get that action surge once a day.
Right.
So that's like 1 turn. You're gonna just be an insane beast.
Otherwise, you'll get 2 hits.
Yeah.
For a spell.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to do like have a really cool moment and cast a spell and do your 2 full attacks in 1 turn, you can totally do that. And you can break them up basically any way you want to, as long as you have all those things still.
Okay.
You have as much freedom as long as you have all that currency, that like action currency, action bonus actions and moves. All right, Meryl, what you fucking doing?
No, what you doing?
There is a manticore trying to eat your sister. There is a
Right.
manticore trying to eat you. You are 2 manticores away from your sister.
Who is within the grips? Of
Can
the
I
grip?
cast Burning Hands on the one
On both.
attacking Minerva?
You would have to move through the space with the. You would have to move past the manticore that's closest to you, which is not the one attacking Minerva. There are 2 manticores between you and Minerva. If you want to make the check and try to, you might take an attack opportunity. Is all I'm going to say.
Just shoot the one where that's near us.
Okay, I'll cast it on whatever's closest.
Okay, cool. So you literally just have to step up through the line.
Okay.
She can do a 15-foot cone without hitting any of you guys, as long as you can see her doing it, and all you can.
And I'll do it at the 2nd level, so I'm rolling 4d6.
Cool.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. Thank
The
you.
manticore does not see you until you're right in its face, and when it does, it's like, ooh, a little tasty string bean, and does not realize that you are going to
Char.
Burn the
Oh.
piss
burn
out of it.
burn your hands at it.
Great.
Go.
I'm sure he's.
Then I go, boo!
I'm missing a
Catch
wish.
this incinerator.
Don't you have it?
My
Both
other one.
saw
I have
wood
this
chipper.
one here too.
Right through the wood chipper.
16.
Send it through the burning wood chipper.
16
16
damages.
damages.
Damages!
Thank you for your contribution.
Just
How do you kill it?
Hooray!
Yeah, huzzah!
Murder that
Um,
manticore, murder that manticore.
burn it up.
Yeah, I burned it up. I'm
Yeah.
right in front of it.
Yeah,
I
it's just
imagine.
it's
and
like
I
a
take it by
flamethrower, this
surprise.
eruption of fire, and you guys
And it's just
smell
like right in the middle of it.
the burning
Space.
sinew and hair and the metal. It's the part that was right in front of her, like the face, gets melted away. You can see that its bones are both organic bone and some sort of like composite metal. They're horrible creatures. They were created probably here in this like lab by Hallister himself. So yeah, and it's dead.
Hooray.
A hero point.
Hooray!
Yay. All right, Delbert. My dog is a sweet dog.
Yeah,
I'm
she
gonna go
wants
inspect
something.
that hole that popped up in the.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Dell's like, nah, I'm good. You guys got it.
You guys are crushing it. I'm gonna go check this out.
It's out of your reach though, so you're gonna have to climb up, up on the. It's like high.
Can I grappling?
Yeah.
Don't need to roll.
No, it's pretty easy.
Don't need a dex check.
No, once you just right there.
Doing it.
Yeah, it's fine. There's a cavity that you can just toss it in, and you.
Yes,
If no one's trying to kill you or anything right
I
now,
got
so you just
cabins.
Batman. It's 1960 Batman up the side of the wall.
Doing that.
And yeah, you get up into this space, and there's something inside there. Let's see what it is.
Cool. How high off the ground am I, Brad?
You are 15 feet up off the ground.
Alright.
No, 10 feet up off the ground.
Don't fall. You're just a little guy.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah, it's 4 times my height. 5 times. I don't know.
Let me find you a ring of feather fall.
It's random.
Just jump off stuff.
Calculator.
What?
I'm just mumbling to myself about how bad I am at math.
I was about to, did you say something about a calculator?
Yeah, I missed.
All I heard is I'm bad at math
Something.
calculator. That's all I heard personally. But
I count on my fingers, and I've decided not to be ashamed of it.
Good
Because
for
why
you.
carry that guilt
Oh,
around?
Good for you,
Don't
Tara.
carry that guilt.
I'm
Good
just
for
gonna
you.
count
Yeah,
my fingers.
Cast that off.
And you
Cast
can
that
deal
off.
with it. Yeah, that's not my answer.
All right.
It's
You
better than
find
imagining
inside
your answer.
this
Had to do
crevice a
Yeah.
bundled up like burlap package.
Mm.
And
Can I use
signed
my
it
fast
says hidden in plain sight, and it's signed Jasira.
Jasira.
I know that name.
I opened it up.
Where did it go?
Did I lose it?
I don't remember where it was.
You don't see
It's
it.
a beast. It's a bracers of beast form.
Oh.
Cool.
It's a little bracer. It's only one of them. Yeah, if you unwrap it, it requires attunement. Actually, this is not how this works. You know it's a bracer of beast form because it says enclosed one bracer of beast form. But you guys don't know what these things do. You have to like cast spells on them and like do
Figure it
checks.
out.
So I will write down what it does real quick, and I can tell you later.
Yeah, you don't just know, Dell.
No.
I thought we were supposed to be able to use the stuff in here to help us. I thought that was the point, but I think.
Ooh.
What are you saying?
I thought you had said something about finding stuff in there to help us with the manticores. I mean, we're stomping them. No offense, we don't.
Oh no! It was more like
If you look, you might find something.
there was a there was
Okay.
a randomness to that moment, and it revealed this secret, and now we're seeing that maybe an unseen force guided that spine into this spot.
Dope.
So to kind of like something else that she hid away for people that would help her on her quest to rid Hallister. So, but it does require attunement.
Okay, wrap it back in burlap and put it in my bag.
Cool. Roll a die.
A die?
Roll a dead. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
All right. Do you want to jump down and get yourself ready for an attack or something?
Can I make a hide check up there?
You're not really obscured from sight. You can't get inside the crevice. It's not. I mean,
Oh,
it's just
I get it.
big
Yeah,
enough for your
I'm
hand to
just
get
sliding
inside.
back down then.
Yeah, you can slide back down. All right, Kara.
That's me.
Kara.
Cora?
And Tag says, send me in, my lady. I'm ready.
Tag no.
I'm ready to fight.
Tag no. Go.
I'm a big boy.
Hide behind the others. Tag.
I like to imagine he's like
You don't want
trying
any
to
part
hold
of
a sword
this.
that's
No,
way
yeah, no, she
too
was
heavy
just
for him.
casting. So as I see it, since you're this Eldritch Knight, and it does take a certain amount of like thought and preparation to cast these spells. I like the idea that your squire literally like when you're casting spells and stuff is like, here's your sword. I'll take your sword. So he's like, here's your sword, and you're like, thanks. So he's got all your like gear and stuff behind you. There in these combat sequences, there's a very low chance that I'm going to target Tag as part of, unless you make him do something.
His day's coming.
If you make him do something like go up there and steal the thing from the lich, yeah, he's gonna die. But,
Yeah, for sure.
but if he's just running around helping you interact
But
with
somebody's
objects,
gonna die if you go try.
I don't care. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like as I see it, he's just like, here's your sword. If you're like, all right, well now I gotta do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, well, that's what I'll do, I guess. I'll go get my short sword and my war pick.
Sure. He's like, your weapons.
My lady.
Yeah, my lady. He
Yeah.
just says sire probably.
That's even better. I'm just gonna, charge the manticore trying to eat
Nice.
our
Yeah.
cat.
Go save that cat.
Yeah.
Charge him up.
I just love the idea that you're like, you're inside this thing.
I imagine it'd be really calm and they're just like, fuck.
The whole
Dreading
time,
it.
the whole time he's pressing on it, your shadow can be seen like having to like.
Fight it
Uh-huh.
from the other side.
That's cool.
I really am seeing this like an animation that makes me pumped. That I could see it in a little sequence. It's
Nice.
cool.
I tend to hit.
Nice.
Reroll it. I need your help.
I'm trying to. If we're gonna do the theater of the mind to make sure we punch it up and make it all seem very like fun. And
Yeah, no, that was good.
if we don't use the minis.
Shut. Do you roll an 11, you bitch? Fucking do it again.
This is Cobra face. You bitch.
Do it again. We're not stopping until you get
Hey,
it right.
what up, Frost Cobra
Oh my
Snake?
goodness.
Wasn't meant to be. Move on.
Yep.
No, I just.
Here, no, I have one. Take
I
mine.
have a lot.
How long will this go on?
How many hero
don't know.
points have you used this far? 2?
This is the
All
third.
right.
Did.
I think
Yeah,
Del-
I
I
did.
For it a minute ago.
think Del offered you one.
You can
I
do it.
have 3. So.
Yeah.
No!
What's going on?
You bitch!
Okay, well,
Bitch.
wait, what do you
I'll
say?
give you
Bitch.
one.
Do you want a
Do
different
it
die?
again.
We can jail it.
Jail
Yeah,
it.
jail
it.
Jail it.
Jail it. Jail it.
There you go.
You do it. It's your dice.
That's where you
Is
belong.
there anything inside of it? Nope.
Nope.
That
Here,
sound
give me-
freaked me out. Hold on.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
map.
Part of the magic.
Too early, too
Part of
early.
the magic.
Oh god.
This is
What?
the whole
Yeah.
Jail it.
great.
Jail it.
You'll keep
Jail
doing this
it.
black one the rest of the
Jail
night.
it.
You get to roll this
Jail
D30
it.
once. This is the D30.
Damn.
It is time.
You better get a 30.
You didn't. No, you don't need to get
Yeah,
it.
you just
you
need
need
it
it.
One more time.
But you didn't.
Jail it. Jail it. Jail it. Jail it. Jail it. Oh
Here you
yeah.
go. Cobra.
Sorry.
So, we're gonna roll this now?
That's what she is.
She needs
Beautiful, beautiful.
She needs to put it back into the cage after it's done.
Oh my god.
It's a fucking 10.
Ah.
It's been 10 like 3
Can she
times
use an
now.
inspiration on
What?
Do it again.
No.
That's
You
it.
can't do it.
Okay.
That's it, man.
Wow.
All right, give me your die. Give me the D30. Use that black one for the rest of the night.
Ugh.
That luck.
But what are you adding? You're not adding your modifier, so what is it with your modifier?
Yeah, what is it with your modifier?
Oh, 18.
I'm gonna murder you.
What?
Wait, were any of those earlier ones just your flat roll?
You guys gotta tell me these things
Yeah.
because
Sorry.
I don't really remember.
That's my fault
No,
specifically.
that's fine. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
What a fucking awesome thing.
What
to
a
have.
bitch.
So what we see is that she's just like she misses, and then Tag's like
Open
take
your
the
eyes.
leather guards off, and he like pulls the he's like they're still packed up, and you're like oh yeah shit, and then she just starts wailing through.
I think we broke her.
Yeah, I think we broke it.
Broken.
All right. So yeah, you hit.
So yeah, you
It was in. You hit both attacks because you would have attacked twice.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It, like because it's passing.
Can I look?
Do you want to now that you know how your stuff works? You want to use your action surge and take 2 more attacks?
I just looked at the 10 on that last one. I was like, oh my goodness.
I'm just sorry.
Yeah, go all out. Use your extra attack.
Girl,
I think,
Your action surge and-
Savannah, we've literally everybody's done that. That's
Oh my
like,
God.
it's like a
Yeah,
rite of
yeah,
passage to be like, I don't know why I'm never hitting shit, and then you're like, oh, because
you
I
gotta
have
add
these numbers.
all
and
your
shit.
numbers to
So
it.
by the way, you have to add stuff to it.
Yeah.
Always.
It's like, oh, by the way, you have to buy equipment and video
And
games
now-
to power up.
And now you're gonna be like, what? Can I add this to it? You'll always have an extra thing you want to add now because you'll never want to not like miss a thing.
Oh my
People are always
God.
trying to add things you shouldn't be like. No, you can't add your charisma to that. When you
Right, when you
Really high
fucking
charisma.
ask it.
when you're not playing rolled characters and you have to roll with a negative and you're like, wait,
All right.
what?
So I'm gonna rule that you hit on both of your attacks on that attack.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for the sheer. Well, it's a 7, or well, wait, add
Your stuff.
Just,
add the stuff.
And you're hitting the one
so
that's.
it's 8 and what?
The black one.
Mhm. Show her exactly where that is.
So this is plus 4, so that's 11.
That's a 7, you said?
Yeah, 11.
So
11 and 5.
11 with the short sword, and then 5 with the war pick.
No, it's 5 with the short sword.
Oh, I'm sorry, backwards. But whatever.
How much total?
What?
How much total?
16.
16 damage.
All day.
Yes.
16 total.
Cool. This thing is really fucked up looking. Do you want an action surge and
Yeah,
keep hacking at it?
Do it.
Kill
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
Kill it. Now,
Now you're like, oh yeah, I remember this shit. And then like Tag's like, yeah, fuck, I'm off.
So you get to make 2.
Tag, watch your mouth.
Tag is a tiny Thomas Middleditch.
Watch your language. Who's middle ditch?
Did
Oh
you
my
ever watch
god. You rolled an 18
Silicon
or
Valley?
17 on the die now.
You ever watch Silicon Valley?
Nice.
Yes.
Have you ever seen
Design
a
stuff until-
Verizon commercial?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
that skinny guy that hawks Verizon
Yeah,
phones.
That's
He's very
26 and a
He is
25
hilarious.
to hit, so.
Yes, you hit. No, he's great.
Don't. 10, 19.
How do you kill it?
Flam, 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 flam!
I want to war pick it right in the brain.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I imagine is you get it with like the sword for only a few damage, and it's like with the first attack, because it was like 5 on that first one, right? And it barely notices you. You hit it on that second attack you had, and then it like turns around. You hit it with the third one, and as it's starting to like now it's like about to come down on you, you just take the pick right into its face, and it's just like, and it like slides off your pick. And have a hero point.
Flames
for all
are
of
bad.
God.
Flam, 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 flam!
Oh God.
Flam.
So
That was a tough battle.
This bracer. I offer it to you.
And with that,
glad I
you-
can entertain.
You hear at the end of your turn, you hear coming out of one of the doors on the east wall. Remember I said there were 3 doorways. The middle one has opened in the middle of all this combat. You guys were not noticing it, and you see 3 figures and a voice that you recognize yell, "There they are! Kill those motherfuckers!" Or whatever someone would say in equivalent in the Forgotten Realms. Sorry, family. So, and you see 3 vampires running through. One of them you recognize as her name was, I think, Harash, and she was the one you guys let get away.
What a turd.
You
What a
notice
bird.
2 things about her now.
Turkeys.
They're all in their costumes, and her whole aesthetic has changed. So she looks like she's in full like vampire costume now, and you guys can't really see anything else other than they're far away. They are going to attack on the monster's turn this round. So combat is not over. We are still fighting. There are a couple of
I'm like pulling this
these.
bracer out of my
The
bag.
first
just
thing I
showing
say
him,
is,
like,
is she not
Yeah.
a
I'm
poser?
interested in that though.
Yeah.
Is
We
she
figure that out.
hot?
And you say that, and she says, "I'll show you." And as she says
my
that, she lifts up 5 feet off the ground, levitates, and she says, "Kill them!" And the other 2 start to run towards you.
Not a vampire. Not a vampire, guys.
She's levitating, dude.
Can I roll?
It's
Can I
your-
roll something to see if
It's
I?
not your turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
go.
your turn. It's your turn.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out information.
I know. You can figure out my information.
I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna take a shot at. Ooh, not like that.
You do not miss your chance to blow.
This opportunity.
Comes once in a lifetime.
Okay.
You
It
better.
comes every time you roll.
Mom spaghetti.
Always
That's exactly what
Shut
I
up,
was
Tag.
Mom spaghetti.
Needs spaghetti.
16
Arm spaghetti.
16
to hit.
to hit. Who are you shooting? The chick.
Yeah, the chick
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we've
yeah.
let go.
We've
Released because she's being annoying.
In my head, she's the redhead in Twilight.
She is Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas
She's actually been
Howard!
replaced.
Oh
So the
my
actress who played her in the
God.
last session has been replaced, and it's a new, more famous actress playing her.
This time it's
now
Bryce
Because
that-
the
Dallas
pilot, the pilot went over really well.
Now that,
Last
now that she's gonna have
episode.
some lines.
There have been some things that have happened in the background of this that have
Yeah.
been. There's
She
been
gets a
some
levitation scene.
Here's the thing.
other handshakes
Let's give
made.
Bryce
If you
Dallas
had seen
Howard.
her played by that actress, you would have known that she was gonna come back.
Duh.
It's really a clever.
That's on.
it's a
Clearly,
clever
that's on
ruse.
us, guys.
Yep.
That's
Clever
on us.
ruse by the
I'm just
production.
in the back like, who is this?
Yeah, who's this? Like, what are these vampires doing here?
What the hell?
Yeah, you hit her.
Okay. And
I'm a shooter.
and this is gonna be a psychic shot.
Oh god.
Oh
So-
shit.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Come in.
Loop it up.
What are we saying? Hot.
What is it? It's 2. Or let me roll this
Like that.
piercing first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Which is I'm 8 on that, and then
Are you rolling it?
she has to make a spell save,
Okay, yeah.
but I'm trying to remember what it targets. Hold on, grab it real quick. It's a wisdom save.
She's going to succeed.
Nice. Okay. Well, then she doesn't take the psychic.
But she takes the 14 damage, right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Duh.
I miss that guy. Hell yeah, man.
And then I can just take another shot at her too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Take another.
Take another little guy.
As soon as you fire, you see her move with an unusual quickness, shifting in space.
Freaking-
Go ahead and roll with disadvantage as she disengages as a reaction.
I rolled that 18. And then I just get to roll another die now. What is that?
Yeah, so you guys are, if you're paying attention to her, she's moving like a vampire.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Good.
But you determined she
She's
wasn't
Bryce Dallas
earlier.
Howard
You
now.
you heard her. You could smell her. She's a human.
Paladin, man.
What?
23 to hit.
All right, you definitely hit her.
Well, she's got magic then.
And then that one is. What am I? 14 damage?
Oh. 14 damage. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Where are we in the room? Are we still?
You guys are all still in that
we're still
doorway.
in-
They just came in through the other door and they made it
Okay.
about. They're a little more than 30 feet
I don't
away
know if
from
there's
you.
any-
Right when you guys kind of noticed them.
There's
Did
just
they see
traps
my
set up.
traps? Can I roll on my DC? Or are you rolling against
They
me?
are not. The two that are running up have not seen your traps. Yeah, I rolled against your DC. And they. What is your DC?
20.
Well, I guess I still have my 3/4 coverage then, so I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
for sure. So you just
hang
kind of
on
poke
our
back. Yeah, and these two are running forward. One of them is a big, like, brutish-looking dude, and the other one is a skinny, like, waifish-looking guy. They're just like they look like thugs, but they're all powdered up to look like vampires. Their outfits less convincing. They definitely are just actors who are dressed up like vampires. All right, Nervy. Your hound is still here, so I'll let you pick. Or your
Hound cat?
shadow cat. I'll let you pick which one.
I think I'm gonna go first. Is it possible to maybe whistle at Shadowcat and call it over by me if it's not? Or was it right here already?
It is going to instinctively run towards
the next target.
whoever's closest, unless you direct it towards a specific person in the group. It can't hang out by you. It it's aggressive.
Dope. Right.
It can hang out by you if there are no other threats. It will instinctively come back towards you.
I just didn't know if it happened to still be by me since.
It's relatively close to you.
But not 5 feet.
Sure.
Dope. Cool. Well, then I was going to lightning bolt at them. I don't know what kind of order they're in. If
they're running. You can hit both of the thugs in a bolt because they're running right next to each other. They're within 5 feet of each other.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't hit. You'd have to pick the vampire or them. You can't hit all three of them.
Right. I think I'm gonna go for the vampire.
The main one. Okay, cool. Do you want your shadow cat to run?
Oh my god!
Oh my.
That scared me.
Do you want your shadow cat to run over to the vampire as well? Because she can make it all the way over there if you want.
I'll just have Shadowcat go to the thugs.
Okay, cool. So she kind of will get up in their space and meet them. They're gonna meet up in the group, and she's kind of rounding off, and you're kind of
right.
Making your.
But I wanted her to be by me when I cast it because then she casts she does a dex save at disadvantage.
No, the cat has to be by the target.
Them.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I'm by it, then it gets advantage on its attacks. Is what it is. I think.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think if
It's
I'm
back
within.
tactics.
Yes, that's what it is.
Gotcha.
I had it backwards in my head.
Gotcha. And probably other allies, would my guess.
Any other ally by it.
Cool.
But yeah. So then I'll let.
All right, so she'll make a dex save against your lightning bolt. What level are you casting that at?
3rd.
Cool. And what's your spell save?
16.
She just meets it, so she's going to succeed.
Okay.
But yeah,
Still half damage.
Yeah, she'll take half damage.
How many D8 is that?
8. Or no, it's D6.
I don't know what happened to my other one. It's so weird.
Are you sure you have it?
Yeah. Oh well.
You lose your dice all the time.
I do. I'm the worst.
She borrowed some earlier.
Holy
You
crap.
And those would be eights.
Cool.
Okay.
37?
Yeah.
37.
37 damage?
Well, that's the full.
That's
so
the
half
full.
of it,
Okay, yeah, so it's like half. All right. So she is the lightning bolt. Your shield is gone now, so the shield drops and this lightning bolt blasts across. Go ahead and roll your attack for your direwolf at whichever vampire you want to attack, the big one or the little one. And the lightning bolt just engulfs this vampire woman, and she is just burnt to a cinder. She just falls over.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, then he's gonna go after what's left.
Yep.
And no one's by him, right? So it's just a normal roll.
It's just a normal roll.
I'm gonna use my hero point. Non-nat 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Sorry. Eight piercing damage.
Cool.
And if the target is a creature, it has to make a DC 13 strength saving throw.
That's already good.
Okay, dope.
Just go ahead, for future reference, just use the static, the aggregated damage that's with the stats.
Okay.
Yeah, just whatever the flat total is. All NPCs just do a flat damage. That way we can just.
There's actually not one on this one, so what do you want it to be? Or at least what I'm looking at.
Sorry, just trying to.
But
I can tell you, no
understand what
worries.
that one is, and it's not there. I can calculate it, but I was just saying that wasn't there.
Yeah, they aren't there. Then never mind. Just don't worry about it. Just roll it. Okay, cool. Or rather, we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out between sessions. We only figure that out right now. You can just roll with it for right now because it's probably won't last beyond this battle. All right, it's this last. You got anything else?
No, I'm not with that.
It's this last. This guy's
Is there
like.
anything? Oh yeah, there's one left.
Yeah, he's like, no, fuck this, fuck it. And then he just like runs, and as he does, your wolf can make an attack of your cat can make an attack.
Dope.
Knock him out.
22.
Yeah.
22, that hits.
9 damage.
Yeah. So this thing's like, no, it just kills it. Doesn't even think to disengage. Just so terrified by it. So those guys are dead. All right, combat is over.
Cool.
Everyone have a hero point.
Thank you.
I'm gonna step out.
Yeah.
We survived.
Actually, yeah. Why don't we take a quick post-battle break, and then we'll be back in 10, 15 minutes. Let ourselves.
want those.
All right, we're back.
But we're in contest.
Hey.
You want to make
I
yeah.
like that
So
option.
to paint the scene again, we just came off a very epic, not very long. It was only maybe about less than 20 seconds of real life time. All that adventure happening, and that's how these battles work. They're quick and dangerous.
We're just like, hey, shut up.
That was awesome.
Cool. So, yeah, set the scene is that there are now 3 dead manticores. One was burnt to a crisp. There are now 3 dead, freshly dead of these vampires. And then the one that you killed the lightning bolts on the back side of the room. As you guys kind of walk through this space, yeah, it's like a... there's work stone underneath all the trash and compost. A lot of this space is just starting to, like, there is maggoty flesh. It's very gross. And there's also a lot of gear through here, so you guys can, if you want to take some time and kind of sift through the manicore shit, go through the 3 nests. Okay.
Yeah.
I will dig through all this shit, you guys. Trust me.
Go
You
ahead,
must be
Del.
thorough.
That's
All
what
right.
you do best.
Yes,
Very
Um,
interested.
I concur.
Brandon, roll me a d4.
Just pinch it.
I had that problem the other day.
Yeah.
See, I don't put mine
I
in
tilt
there.
them usually.
I put mine in the big one.
Dose.
Well,
You
only
guys,
for
you guys have to spend about 2 hours coming through this
Hell yeah.
space. As you do, you have to kind of interact with some less than savory effects. Make me 2 Constitution saving throws over those 2 hours, and I'll tell you all the rewards you got during that.
Is that an ability check?
No, it's a save.
We're saying one at a time?
Yeah, just tell me both.
Wow. You did not do well today.
Oh,
Nope.
shit.
16 and 16.
Okay, you do about pass.
14 and 24.
Okay, you passed. You were just very careful. Basically, we're judging how careful you were sifting through all this shit. Kara?
4 and 5.
A nat 1 and 5.
So
Tag was fucking.
tag
throwing
shit
shit on
and
you,
stuff.
dude.
You're having to constantly pull him out of it. You're having to like take things out of his hand.
Baby.
Get that out of your mouth.
And at one point, he stops you from almost ingesting like a half-open vial of something that you're like, oh, that looks like a healing potion. And as soon as it like he knocks it out of your hand, you see it like. So it's not all bad. He's helpful, but you do get your hands on all that shit. Take 2 levels of exhaustion.
Oh.
Nice.
That sucks.
What was your roll, Brandon?
15
Me.
and 23.
You are fine. Would you roll?
Disadvantage.
Del?
You're always rolling
19 and
both
22.
rolls,
You're fine.
As well as your speed is only 15. Until a long rest.
I don't want to talk with my
You're so far away from the camera.
15 and 9.
Okay. After the second hour, yeah, you fall into like in one of these dens, these nests. They built up all these bones, and you literally like the bones fell underneath
Oh,
you,
no.
and you like slid down face first
Oh.
into just like some gunky goo.
Ugh.
You'll take a level of exhaustion. So you guys aren't poisoned or anything. It's just like
You fleet.
extra taxing, and your immune system is having a visceral reaction to interacting with this like place, and it kind of limits you guys from looking anymore. And as such, you find these
It
things.
is. I don't have one. I must have had it from like a while ago.
You guys ready?
Rings.
Yeah,
Are we
sorry.
all finding?
Yeah. I'm
All
just-
these things
I'm just-
collectively?
I'm just
Sorry.
gonna- yeah, I'm just gonna say all the things that you guys found.
Who's keeping track of it?
I'll write
I'm
it down.
writing something down.
A chain shirt, a flail, a wooden flute worth 2 gold pieces, a pouch containing 14 silver pieces and 29 copper pieces, a pouch containing 21 gold pieces, and a silver necklace with a bloodstone pendant worth 250 gold pieces.
Is that necklace magic?
Nope.
Yeah.
Worth how much again?
250 gold pieces. You also, when you inspect the body, the charred, crispy body of the second in command vampire bandit, you see that she is carrying 2 items that are certainly magic, and basically you can tell gave her abilities. Do you have identify?
I do, but I didn't prepare it.
It's a ritual, right? Is it an identify ritual?
Yeah, it's definitely a ritual.
Do you want to cast identify on these things in this
Yeah.
room? Do you guys want to take a short rest in this room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Over the course of the short rest, you can lose 1 level of. No. Yes, you can lose 1 level of exhaustion. So if you take a short rest right now. Also, you
I can get
can
a spell slot.
heal if you want to. What's that?
Sorry, I can get a spell slot back.
You can if you want to. You can do your arcane recovery. You can get a couple spell slots actually.
Oh, that's right.
But you are not going to be able to. Actually, you can't because you're doing a ritual. It's an evil thing.
Okay.
Because you're going to have to do it on multiple objects. So you do a ritual on the bloodstone pendant, and it shows you that it's not magical, or you detect magic on it, or whatever. These are 2 items, and together they're called the Undertaker's Masquerade. Whoever's writing this down. The girl had 2 magic items on her. You find that she was wearing a set of platinum vampire fangs that, when attached, look real. They turn into they look like real vampire teeth. And she was wearing a circlet around her head that appeared to, when it was on her body, it looked like gemstones that were just placed on the top of her head, but it's actually a circlet that magically bonds to your skin. The fangs of the crypt are carved to give impression. They make you look like a vampire. If you have these in your mouth, whenever you make a successful melee attack, meaning an attack with a weapon, not a ranged weapon, against a creature within 5 feet that can bleed, you can make a biting attack at the same creature as a bonus action. You make a melee attack using the fangs. On the hit, they deal 3d6 necrotic damage, and you regain hit points equal to half the amount of the damage dealt.
Damn.
What?
I feel like Rift would want that.
Yeah.
Also, these things, when together, have extra powers, so they're part of a set. So one player, you can split these up, certainly, but if one player wears them, they get an extra set of abilities. The signet, it's a signet of beguilement, or a circlet of beguilement.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it's a circlet of beguilement. The circlet bears a image of 2 crossed fangs in front of a howling wolf. If you use an action and speak out to the creatures around you, you can do one of the effects. You can either beguile someone. You can choose any number of humanoids within 15 feet of you that share a language. They make a wisdom saving throw. DC 15 wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they're frightened for 1 minute. And then you can also command. So any number of creatures within 15 feet, DC 15, failed save, they're charmed for 1 minute. They're beast, actually. So it's not people. Sorry. Beguile works on humanoids. Command works on beast. That's the difference. If they are bats or werewolves, they are dominated as if the dominate beast spell. So if you use this command on a bat or a wolf, it changes the spell to dominate beast, and then you are in control of them completely. Once you use either of these properties, you can't use them again until you finish a long rest. And when you have both of these things together as a set, you can use your reaction. So once a round, you can use your reaction to take the disengage action. So that's how she imposed disadvantage on that roll as you attacked. She used her reaction to do that. And you have to attune to those things. They cost.
What magic items does?
Oh no! The fangs of the crypt do not require attunement, but the signet does.
Okay.
What magic items does Savannah have?
I don't think she has any.
None.
You want
Pretty
this?
badass. Eldritch Knight with those 2 items.
You want this stuff?
Kinda want the vampire things.
You should definitely take
You
Well,
should
take
take both.
both.
You should take both of them.
You can
and
take
then-
the
and then
Can you get
you
more
can-
spells?
You could take the circlet in. You could
Do
take
it.
the things.
Yeah, take them both.
I have
Do it,
everything written
Knight.
here if you have like any questions, but yeah, definitely take it.
So with your half elfness and those fangs, you could definitely pass for vampire
Oh
very
yeah,
easily.
oh, yeah,
Very
Sweet.
easily, yeah. You
Especially
have a
with
lot of
his
like
charisma.
you're. I imagine you. I mean, are you fair skinned already, or okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
as long as you're not like
Quite, actually.
doing things that vampires can't do, like if you're out in the sun, no one's gonna think you're a vampire because this ain't Twilight. Sorry, Kaylin.
I'm not.
I'm not. All right, cool.
Those movies are bad.
Cool.
Agreed.
Not good.
And that's pretty much it in this room. You guys pretty much have
I
to
love
leave this
some
space,
bad
or else the people who got sick already are going to continue
What
to
was
like
the full name of the
get more
show?
sick.
Then let's move on.
Beguiling.
Beguiling,
Circlet,
circle,
beguiling.
yeah.
You can't use the circlet quite yet, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not attuned to it, but you can use the thing.
Well, during the short rest, you can have attuned to it. Like she can identify that. Also, you can identify the bracers for
Yeah.
Jimmy. They are the beasters of the brace, unless you don't let her.
Yeah, I identify them.
I'm giving them to you, actually.
Oh, well, you might
I
want to
don't
keep it
need
actually.
Yeah.
Oh, what it does is it's called the bracer of the beast.
Stop trying
As a
to
bonus
kick my
action,
ass.
as a bonus action, you can turn your hand into the head of an axe beak, which is a type of bird. So your hand turns into like a bird's head, and it does a bite attack that's a D6 slashing,
Okay.
That's awesome.
and it would count if you can use it against creatures that use your sneak attack, and it will work with your sneak attack.
Okay, I'll put it on.
That's insane. It's
That's
funny.
amazing.
It doesn't require attunement or anything. It's just a
I'll slip that
Just a
up
beak.
on.
just a weird magic item.
It's just a beak weapon on. Beak arm weapon.
Cool. So, do you guys want to investigate the big double doors to the south, or do you want to go through those doors to the east that the vampires came through?
I think we should go where the vampires came from, because they were doing something before.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
did they come
She
from?
came-
So
She came back
there
with more
are
stuff.
those three
Yeah.
those three doors on
Too
the
true. That bitch.
Jimmy. There are those three doors on the east side. It looks like the north on our map.
I'm gonna
but-
inspect them for traps.
There are no traps. They're big double doors. It leads into a long hallway. So there's a hallway. You can from either of the doors. All three doors lead to the same hallway, and you can see that there is a hallway between these doors. So if you go out this middle door, there's a hallway up here, and then there's also you can see multiple directions off this way. So it's a left or right kind of situation.
Did you pick up your traps?
I pick up my trap.
I don't know. You had been saying it. Doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Do you guys want to check the other door in this room before you leave the big room,
Yeah.
or do you not want to kick open another double door?
No,
I think that worked out pretty well last time.
Yeah. It's
I'm
fine.
not worried about kicking the door down, right?
Yeah, let's open a double. Or is that?
Alright.
Or no, let's go where the vampires were. That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
we're
that's
doing.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
like
come
I
back.
said, she came back with more like
Yeah,
stuff.
let's
It's
go where the
ballers,
vampires
shit,
are going.
so,
Yeah. Okay.
it's,
Cool. So if you so you guys are gonna go down the hallway. You guys want to go left or right? You don't really have any way of knowing which way they came from, but they definitely came from this direction.
Can I sniff anything out?
You can roll. I'll allow you to roll a perception. Not with advantage. It's just like you're trying to find a faint trail.
That's just gonna be 14.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a complete. Yeah, you definitely smell something. Oh yeah. There's
Yeah.
more kind of awful smell coming from. So if you're in the hallway, there. If you look to your left, right in front of you, there is a very narrow but tall hall that kind of like cuts, and you can tell there's something that smells that way up that hallway. That's not too far away.
Okay.
So that little hallway, you can tell, leads up to a room that's pretty close if you want to go inspect that, or but you can't smell the vampires specifically.
Yeah, I'm just gonna just follow the smell.
Cool.
The smelly smell.
The smell
I assume
that
you all
smells.
kind of follow behind her.
Smell.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you guys all, what's your marching order? So if she's up front, which I like because she's a little cat.
I'll be right behind.
You'll be right behind her because you have the 10-foot reach. Yeah, you right
Just like
behind
over.
Sela. You got a bird. As soon as you
Yeah.
change it,
Change it back. Jesus.
it is not a quiet animal. It's squawking. It will peck at you. It
It's great.
you can attack with it and you can control it, but it also like if you're not thinking about it, it will like eat your food. It will.
It reminds me of the Zelda hat and Minish Cap, I think it is, where it's like a bird. I don't know.
I've never played it.
Oh yeah, in one Zelda game, Link has a hat.
That's
It like
a bird.
turns it the top of it is a fucking
That's great.
bird, and it's a little asshole.
That's funny. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
You play it up as much as you want to, earn some hero points.
Sure. Next time we're in the bar.
You know what I love? Next time in the bar. Okay, cool. So you guys, you head up that way, right behind her, and there's a big. This door is big. It's not a big double door, but it's easily 12 feet tall. This hallway is extra tall, is what you've noticed. And as you get closer, you see a bit of like a trail of like caked in blood that kind of looks like drag marks that kind of you can see as you kind of do this like turn the corner going up the way. They get really thick around underneath the door as if something was dragging something bloody in this area. But it's caked and not necessarily fresh. It's still sticky, so it's not fresh, but it's not like this blood has been here because repeatedly blood gets dragged through this area back and forth.
Fantastic.
The door itself
It's a really
is
good
is a big metal door, but it is not locked. It just has like a big latch that you would know. You're like, I know these latches. They if you turn it all the way, it will make a nice loud clicking sound that is just designed for these like dungeon areas. So the door has a hollow space, so this click can be heard in an area. So you'll need to take some like a little bit of like cotton and some of your thieves tools, and you're gonna need to do a little thieves tool check to like jam up the clicking device.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll pull out some cotton and use some of my pitons to jam it all up in there. And
Like take a little wood pick, and you can just like
yeah.
go ahead and roll.
I'm gonna cast before you do that. I'm gonna come up to and I'm gonna kind of like just touch him and say, "I believe in you, my friend," and I'm gonna cast Bless on 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
That's a what? No?
This is where you have a D4
He bless you. Yeah.
Can you add to anything?
ability,
Yeah. Everything.
except damage.
Yeah.
$26.
You are very successful. Get it up there. You've done this 100 times, so
Yeah.
just and you're able to. When you do that, the door engages, and you're able to like just push it forward just enough to kind of get an eye on the inside. Do you want to push through there, Minerve? Do you want to like cat your way in? Is that?
Yeah. Have you seen that commercial?
No.
It's like some dude asking for a hotel's Wi-Fi password, and he's like, "Oh, it's kitty cat, kitty 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 cat, kitty cat," and then he walks away, and the dude's like, "How many fucking cats was that?" It's great.
Okay.
Played on Hulu for like 4 months.
You hear as soon as you like push the door up and you kind of like scoot in. You instantly, first of all, you smell something awful, and you all can hear like right around the corner, "What that?" and this big like booming kind of voice. And if do you want to keep peeking inside?
Yeah, maybe I'll try to throw him off and just kind of walk in as a cat and be like, "Meow,"
Yeah.
and play cat.
Okay.
See
So
what
as soon
happens.
as you walk in, roll me a performance if you have
Can I
it.
do a high check into the room?
Don't forget your D4.
A high check into the room using her as like a
Oh, sorry.
You can see that there is a there is a stack of carcasses that seem to come from a chute in the ceiling. big animal carcasses.
I'm gonna go dive in.
And you could if she distracts enough, based on her check, will determine if he's distracted enough for that. So roll your dex. And what did you roll on your?
No, I'm not 20.
Perfect.
You're blessed.
Do we keep the blue?
Yes, for up to a minute.
Yeah, it's a concentration spell. So it's just to maintain.
Everybody?
No, just
No.
these three.
Fucking no.
No, I didn't
Suck
bless
it.
you, Tara.
Suck it.
Suck it.
I don't need your nasty blessings.
I do.
The troll. So you're around the corner. So what you see is this 12-foot tall green and brown skinned troll. Where there's just like big, like horrible, twisted versions of giants. They're giant kin, but they're like the awful version of them. Big natty hair. They smell awful. They're kind of dumb, but they're not so stupid. You know, they're not like.
I want to do that cute cat thing where I walk up and like roll on my back and like.
And when you do that, it goes. Anybody speak giant?
No, I do in the other campaign.
Oh wait,
Oh, no.
you all
Yeah.
speak you
Yeah.
can all
Oh,
read.
yeah.
No, you can all read
everything.
Yeah, so this thing's and it like reaches out to you.
No.
You want to pick you up?
I make my move.
I'm gonna like.
What did you roll?
26.
Yeah, it's too interested in the cat.
I'm gonna like
Into the pile of
slowly boop its hand with my nose,
Ooh.
very very slowly, and see what it does. This seems fine. I'm gonna let him pet me for a second.
And it kind of like rubs you against its
Aw.
face, and it's like.
I stick my head out and look around for any gear.
Um,
Any shit that he's taken and piled up anywhere.
I can't believe we're doing this
What are
right
we supposed
Yeah, I know.
I'm really scared in this moment.
Sayla is incredibly stressed out.
What are we
This is
supposed
some
to be
shit.
doing
I
right
don't
now?
know. There's a troll in this room.
We're
Do we
stealing
want
his
anything in
shit.
this room?
We're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
kill it.
it does not see you. There's nothing there except what you notice as soon as you get these carcasses is they are rotten. These are old.
I'm covered
Like
in
it's
blood.
not. You're not covered in it because you just jump behind it, but it's just
Okay.
like it's off-putting. This space has got nothing in it except for like he even just shits on the floor. Like it's a horrible space. You do see two things though. Right as he's like rubbing out your face, he does a big inhale and then looks at you and looks around.
No.
And
Can I
goes,
roll an insight?
like it's about to like eat you, like because it's like you're cute but it's hungry.
I'm gonna do the big cat.
And as soon as that happens, you all see a glowing orb in the center of the ceiling lights up. And there's a sigil on it in a language you don't. Oh no, you can already.
Yeah.
I was just
Oh,
getting
yeah,
ready to
yeah,
say
yeah.
that.
It's giant and it says feeding
It's like,
time.
nope.
And as soon as that
I
happens,
know.
he goes, and his eyes kind of roll back in his head, and he just drops you, and you're able to just like land.
Yeah, land on my feet.
And right by you, make me a dex save
Huh.
as 3 of these
Can I have this
huge.
blessed?
Yeah. Okay, you have to leap into his sight line because there's nowhere else to go. But 3 of these large, some sort of bovine carcass, maybe a minotaur or something. It's crazy. These are big slabs of meat. You're able to dive through them and only get like some juice on you, but you don't get crushed by them, which you would have been. And
You
the
are a
troll,
mess right now.
like
A gross
like a zombie,
mess.
even though you jump right in front of it, does not seem to recognize you or acknowledge you and just walks right towards the meat. You kind of roll forward and make me another dex save as it's about to step on you as it is walking through this room.
Oh my god.
Nat 20.
Yeah, and you just like tuck out of the way, no
Yeah,
problem, and
before.
you're like up against the wall, and it just grabs one piece, 2 pieces, and then takes the third one by its mouth, and then just like walks out through the room, and it literally walks right past you guys, and doesn't even acknowledge your presence as it goes to feed the manticores in the other space.
That we just could. Dope.
Roll me an
We better
insight.
get out of here.
Roll me an insight.
Grab some shit.
Roll me an insight. Roll me.
Yeah.
Everybody roll me an insight.
Use a hero point.
Well, I wouldn't, since the whole group's doing it.
Great.
17.
I didn't know if I was looking for something specific.
That's a good thing to point out. If the whole group is participating in a check, it means it's a check that anyone can pick up. You don't need to spend your speciality in it, so don't waste your hero points on like a group check. If one person can succeed, you all succeed. What'd you roll?
15.
What'd you roll?
17.
What'd you roll?
14.
23.
6.
17.
Cool. You guys, it doesn't take you much before you look at each other, realize that you know that thing's under some sort of mind control spell. Because you saw its eyes roll back in its head, you put that together like that. As soon as that thing's off, it's going to realize that the manticores are dead,
Yeah.
something's wrong, so you guys should probably hoof it. You should
Yeah.
probably get the fuck
Yeah,
out.
let's
We
get the fuck
hoofing
out of
it.
here.
And you guys take off at a reasonable speed, not so fast that you would trip wires, I assume.
Yeah, I'm checking for traps if I have to.
And you head down this tunnel. So you head down this this tunnel to the south, and as it goes down, you can feel there's a bit of a like decline. It's almost like steps, but it's like little platforms that are not the same length. That kind of as this area of the dungeon kind of leads in a downward fashion. And you come to a little fork in your road. Do you guys want to go left or do you want to go right?
Left.
Yep.
Wow. Left it is then.
Feeling
For our
Right.
crack team of manticore killers. That was insane.
Put him down. It's ever so quick.
2 rounds.
Yeah.
3 mana cores. With like 90 something HP.
Yeah, I mean, and just the dominance, man.
So down the left hallway is a like small feast hall. It's set up for servants. This is still, remember, this part of the dungeon is an old water like deep dungeon. It's not like the Mad Mage did not construct this first level. This was something that already existed, and this would have been the servants' rooms. It smells really bad in here as well. There is, there's a lot. There's just like tables, these big 20-foot long tables in the middle of the room, and then there's some smaller rooms off to the side where servants would have slept. There's nothing in these rooms, but there's a ton of rotted food in this room on these tables.
Sweet, I'm starving.
Don't eat rotten.
There is some food. We'll roll an investigation. Roll a perception. As you look around. Yeah. As you can tell, the meat is rotting, but by looking at it, it's no, that's no way. That's a hard thing to say. This is strange how all the food here is on the table, because you can see that there are other piles of like rotting meat, but they all seem to be like in various stages of decomposition, like day by day. So you would kind of guess that these tables are magical and that they produce rotting meat at like once a day. Because it's like there's just a pile, and no one's been using these rooms, so it's this like overwhelming. As you kind of stand in here, everyone make me a Constitution save, please.
Add a +5, everyone.
Angel bless.
Bless is over. That's
Whatever.
fine.
Mind your own business.
Mind your own business.
Is that just on con saves or is that all saves?
If you're within 10 feet of me, you get a +5 to all saves.
Sweet.
What'd you roll?
15.
Save.
19.
Save.
19.
Save.
19.
Save.
23.
Save.
21.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, you guys just get out of that room. It's gross.
Ah!
If you go, way, this way, that's basically it. There is another hallway that leads to a like cave-in that kind of makes you feel like you're at the edge, like one of the outmost edges of the dungeon right now. And if you inspect the other fork, you just find a servant, a guard feast hall, and then a noble's feast hall. And in the guard hall, there's really nothing of note. The room is just kind of old. There is a tankard. A copper tankard with a hinged lid that's worth 25 gold pieces. And then the last room, it takes you a second to get through the door because there's been a cave-in in here as well. And there is the maggot-eaten corpse of a female dwarf. There's a corpse of a female dwarf adventurer in this room. She's got leather armor. She clutches a dagger, and she has an empty tin flagon in the other hand.
Is the dagger magical?
No, none of her gear is magical. She's just got some stuff. There's a flask, there's some oil, there's a lantern.
I grab the lantern.
She couldn't get the door back open.
I grab the oil.
Yeah, for sure. Once the cave-in happened, she was inside the room, and you can tell that she just couldn't get the. It was easy for you guys to open by pushing it in.
So she just starved to death.
She just starved to death. So.
Damn.
Sometimes it ain't
all that other stuff.
crazy magic. Sometimes it's just starved to death. Which reminds you guys that you probably should eat at some point. That's a good point. I'm gonna say that as you look now at your rations, you guys have been in here one night, and you would have brought enough rations for probably, I would guess, 2 weeks. That's 10 days in the Forgotten Realms. It's probably as much as you could have carried. We're not going to do like a rationing sim thing because that never works out and it's never fun. But I'm going to remind you when your reserves are low, and you guys are going to have to figure out how you're going to
Feed ourselves.
refill your coffers, so to speak, every once in a while. So you guys have about 3/4 of your food supply still. You are almost out of water. But you've got enough to get you through at least the rest of the day, maybe part of tomorrow. Halfway through your water.
Well, if we can get to the level that has
If
a
you have any
forest,
druids
maybe we can at least have
or
water.
clerics.
Although it's probably poisoned.
Isn't there a city down here too? Taken by thieves, but still a city.
Skullport.
If you guys make your way back to the first fork and head the other direction, you will head down. What?
Wait.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Wait.
What?
Wait.
When I get.
Walk sign is on.
Wait.
Wait. You are now cross. Wait. Wait.
Wait. When you spam it. Come on.
Okay. In this hallway, there are 16 old shields bearing emblems from long-forgotten human and dwarven and elven realms that hang on the walls of the corridor.
Dwarven made shields or shields?
There are some dwarven made shields. There are some elvish ones.
Is there writing on any of them?
There was,
anything?
but they are almost all like decorative, so they're not actually made of to withstand like blows. They might be worth if you want to. Why don't you get up there and you kind of like scramble up,
Yeah.
hop up on the wall and like grab one of the hinges, get close and give me an appraisal. Why don't you roll a I don't know what would a thief's appraisal ability be? Just give me an intelligence check. Investigation. You got investigation?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me investigation.
19.
These are certainly worth money to the right people. Finding those people, they're not worth anything as far as materials. They're all like copper, and the paint has started to fall off of them. As you're kind of fiddling with it and kind of looking at it, one of the piece you're hanging onto kind of pops off the wall, and you don't fall. You just like do a really graceful like little flip, and as that happens, you feel the whole mountain like shake for half a second. And then a giant blue eye of scrying appears in front of you, and then like Sauron just kind of like looks around the room, and it zooms up to you, having just touched the shields, and I don't know if it does anything.
And you die.
Again?
No, it just like do you guys what do you guys do when it shows up?
Can I cast Gust to try to blow it away?
Yeah, so you cast Gust. Is that a cantrip? Yeah, so if you cast Gust, it has no effect.
Damn.
Although you do clear away a lot of dirt.
Really thought that would finally come in handy.
I look at it for half a second, then I go about my business searching for.
Roll a d4. Nicole. What did you say, Del?
I'm just going back about my business.
Okay.
I try
Yeah,
to
so it kind of
act like
follows
I'm
you
ignoring
for maybe a few seconds, 15, 20 seconds, and then it's just going to move around the room. It gets really close to you guys. I said, okay, cool. Yeah, so when you blow the gust away, a thick layer of soot and sand that was in this corridor moves, and you can see that on the floor there is a small, like, stowaway, like, trap door. And
I feel like you would run to that.
Smart.
I do.
feel like
I
that's
check
your
it for traps.
shit.
And as soon as you open up the door, your Ramblings of the Mad Mage, your book starts to glow.
Look for pages, look for information, look for magic!
There is.
That was
We
Pantone.
found
The
one
high
of the
pants,
things.
man. Where'd you
Do you
come
who
from?
inspects it? Are you
Happens
using
sometimes.
your mage hand to inspect inside to manipulate the spot? Because you can do that. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
So, inside there is a box, like a little wooden box, and then wrapped around it is a sheet of paper that's been bound with twine. The sheet of paper says, "I hid everything I could from him to so that he couldn't see it. I know that not everything is as useful as it once was or should be."
I'm trying to get Meryl's attention because I feel
Yeah.
like
The
I don't want
page-
to read this, but you would.
Yeah. So she like mage hands you the page, and as you read those words, they melt away, and then magic writing appears on the page.
Cool.
Roll me a. Sorry, does it have a coin? No, just roll me a d4. On a 1, on an odd, you'll get a clue about the dungeon, and on an even, you'll get a page of power.
Cool. 1.
Okay, cool. Roll a d4 again. No. It's just one page. We've already determined
Page of power.
Is this from your little
Wait,
book that you just got?
that. This is from the map pack that
Yeah,
came with it.
dope.
Yeah.
is it a secret?
Yes, it's a secret about the dungeon.
Oh. You said page of power.
If you rolled a 1.
You said that was a page of power.
He said 2 is a page.
Oh, I thought one was. I'm sorry.
One was a secret.
It's fine.
1 was a
Make sure you-
secret. 2, because it's always make the evens better for
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Dwarf craft. Much of the Undermountain was built long ago by the shield dwarves of the Malerkin clan. These dwarves were masters of stonework and hid many of their rooms behind secret doors. They also dug deep in search of precious metals. These mines were later stripped by Durgar invaders,
Duergar are like deep dwarves. They're like
leaving a maze of worthless tunnels and caverns for monsters to inhabit. So, is that maybe behind the door in the floor?
So what this means with these little, I mean no, because they're random. When we get to these places, if you remember, like when we get to that forest, that's a good example.
Yeah.
If you remember that thing, if you're looking through it, if you ever like, oh, we're in a place that corresponds to one of my secrets, I will probably let you make an extra check. I'll probably give you some more information. You'll probably.
Okay.
So just remember that you have those things. Be looking through them. as like.
Memorize them.
I just like the idea that you have all these papers and these files that you're kind of going through as we go through the dungeon to kind of like.
Dwarf craft.
All right. Cool. So, yeah, and then inside that box, if you look, who looks inside the box?
I look in the box.
You look at the box.
What's in the box?
It's in the box.
Inside there is a
Dig
ring.
in a box.
There is a ring made of carved
Dig in a
horn.
box.
Ring of carved horn?
It's made from a goat's horn.
Ring of carved goat horn?
And I heard corn, and I was like, what?
It's called the ring of the goat.
Ring of the goat.
Bring the goat horn.
What does it do?
Michael Jordan's
Or
ring.
does she need to identify it?
You have to attune to it to know what it does without identify. If you want to take a quick 10-minute break, you can try to do that. Remember, anytime you stand still in the dungeon, there's a chance that something might stumble.
There's a chance we're gonna get attacked.
Do you want to cast Identify on it? Take the ritual? Or do you want to just spend a spell slot to cast Identify on it?
Identify as a first level.
Yeah, it's a first level.
Yeah, I'll just spend a spell slot and do it right now.
Cool. So she does her little higgamy jiggamy, and yeah, it's the ring of the goat. It requires
The ring of
attunement.
the goat.
I'm gonna say no. It doesn't require attunement. While wearing this carved, no, it does require attunement. It certainly does. While wearing this carved horn ring, you can consume virtually any organic matter, such as grass, leaves, twigs, linen, and leather, and you find it tasty and sustaining as normal food.
Dope.
Give
well,
it to the kid.
there's part of the
Wow.
problem solved, as far as rations and things go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we all just take turns wearing the ring and eating?
You have to attune to it.
And you have to
Yeah.
you have to pass the material all the way. You have to digest it all the way through. If you remove the ring and you're unattuned to it while you're digesting,
Grass and that.
grass and I'm gonna say a glass like don't goats just eat anything, isn't that? Or they just I guess they just eat it.
They can like digest.
They can digest
things.
They can digest metals,
Yeah,
I think, like
yeah,
tin
they can
cans
digest
and stuff.
most materials.
All right, let's say you only get sustenance
They like
from
food.
organic material. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
You can
it's
technically chew on like a.
but it's also tasty to you. So that's the other side.
Right.
Okay,
If
cool.
she wants to eat a can.
You cannot attune that
She'd
right now
enjoy
unless
it.
you guys want to take a short rest, which I wouldn't.
I'm down to
can't do
let Tag have it. I keep wanting to call him Todd because
You can call him
Pod
Todd,
and
that's fine.
Tag.
You can call me anything you want, my lady kitty, talking cat. This cat talks. What? Why does this cat talk?
I refuse to
wow.
talk to him.
Oh wow, a talking cat.
Just nothing.
Oh, how neat.
Are you gonna wrangle him in, or
I'm just gonna let
Oh.
Are you
Wow.
going to do anything about him?
this is quite?
you can
the
do something
job.
about him.
He eats it, and then as
Prestidigitated
soon as he does it,
scarf
yeah.
around
So
his neck.
okay, well that's one thing. I guess if you don't have to feed the kid, that's one less mouth to feed. I'll say that your
True.
rations will last you another half a week
Dope.
without having to.
To deal with feeding a
deal
teenage
with feeding
boy.
teenage
That's very smart.
Being Ted.
Okay.
That's where half our loaves of bread have
Now my
gone.
squire just follows behind eating clumps of grass and
Yeah. Shut up, Ted. Eat this.
You
Shut
guys head south
And he loves it.
to an area that is kind of like it opens up. As it opens up, you're in this like space that's like an L-shaped room, and there are a few exits out of it. You can see that there is a hallway like immediately to your left. So if you turn, you can go to this curved hallway. And then there's also a door and then another hallway. So there are two hallways out of this space, and then there's one door out of this space. One hallway to the north, kind of where you came from, but not quite, and then one to the south, and there's a doorway to the east. This room, at the north end of the room stands a 14-foot tall granite obelisk with a lidless eye carved near its top at the south-facing side. So it is at the north side of the room. So it's like right as you guys walk in, you kind of, there's this big, like, granite obelisk of this eyeball looking down.
Yeah, lidless eye is such a classy way of saying eyeball.
Lidless
Uh-huh.
eye. The bottom half of the obelisk is covered with dirty, bloody handprints. And then there is a wide
That's an
alcove
eyebrow.
surrounding this eye. Yeah, and it's like in this alcove, and yeah, you can either exit to the north, the south, or there's a door. And
Let's go to the door.
do you guys? And then yeah, and the obelisk is faintly like glowing at the top. Yeah, and it's got
Can you
and it has
identify
like
that?
it has these like bloody handprints.
Yeah.
What's
Can
that?
I identify that?
Do you want to cast Identify, or do you want to use a ritual spell?
We shouldn't hang out here for 10 minutes.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll cast it again.
It's definitely has. You would have. This would not be identified. You would cast detect magic on this.
Oh, I do not have detect magic.
Okay, then no. Identify would not work in the situation because
Okay.
Identify helps you understand
Spell slot back.
specific magic properties or like magic items specifically.
Does anyone else have detect magic?
Nope, nope, nope.
Do you want to roll an Arcana on it?
Yes, I would.
Do you need a hero point? I have some.
I will use one of mine. Thank you for offering. Oh.
You should roll a different d20.
You can have one of mine.
17 plus 8 Arcana.
It's a lot.
25.
Yeah, this thing's magic.
Ooh, it's magic. Ooh, it's magical. In what ways?
You can tell that there is some sort of the transmutation spell on this that if you touch it, it will probably give you some sort of telepathic message.
Can I do that?
His handprints are bloody.
She touches it.
Oh, that's true.
You don't have to. You don't want to.
Those handprints are bloody.
They are bloody.
Okay.
Touch it. Touch it.
I feel like the telepathic message might come at a cost.
It's
Just sister to sister. I don't know.
Never know.
No, you're right.
Hey,
Can you
Tag.
roll an insight?
What are
on
you?
it?
Will you come up here for a moment? I have a task for you.
I'll do
Quit
it.
trying
I'll do
to
it.
I touch it.
sacrifice my.
Yeah, I'll touch it.
All of this going on your
I want to
side.
receive. I want to receive the message.
When you touch it, the rest of the world is blotted out to you, and only the obelisk stands in your mind. It's just you and the obelisk, and you feel it looking up, and now in your head, it for a second, it looks 20, 30 feet tall. And you hear in your mind, I cast my eye into the future, and see in yours a perilous descent. South of here, beyond a secret passage, waits the two-headed king. Look to his left. There you will see the path you are destined to take.
Are you gonna tell us this?
Yes. Can I? Do I like snap out of it?
You roll an insight check.
Will you rewind it and play it again?
Yeah. Can I play it again?
Yeah, it says, I cast my eye into the future and see that yours is a perilous descent.
25.
Okay.
Insight.
South of here, beyond a secret passage, waits the two-headed king. Look to his left. There you will see the path you are destined to take. The words, they seem soothing, but as you kind of listen to them, you can hear that a subdued madness, as if someone, whoever recorded this message was having to concentrate to make their sentences sound so constructive, which might inform you that this obelisk, like most things inside this place, was created by Hallister.
To fuck with you.
Maybe. Okay.
See, that's what I mean. Is it a warning or is it like a false warning?
That's the game, Tara.
No.
Existential dread.
I know.
I feel like it's a trap too. I feel like we should go.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go find this king, but go right instead of left.
Totally.
And he's south of us.
I think we should go investigate the two-headed king. I agree with you on that, and then we can decide from there.
And then there's a alcove to the south of this room that just is like, it's 10 feet in, and it seems kind of strange. It sticks out that like, and that it's in this room and it's set like in the wall, and you can tell that like there seems to be like an open air space above it if you were to go in there and investigate, but you can't really see without going inside.
I'll go look in there.
Okay. Roll an investigation as you walk up to it.
Nat 20.
All right. Yeah. So you're walking up to it, and you're like, this is very strange, and you can see that like there's light shining down from that, and it's even more curious. You kind of get up into the space and look up, and right as you put your foot on the last tile, you feel that it's this is like it's a trap, and you don't put your whole weight on it, and then you take your pole, and you're able to push the trap down. It's a spring-loaded trap. It slides you down into a pit filled with rusty spikes, and there's a dead goblin inside of it that's been impaled.
Does he have any gear?
Right.
He does. He has a scimitar, a short bow, and a quiver with 9 arrows, which you could easily.
Can I jump down there?
Yeah, you could easily slide down there and
Need some arrows?
get.
Yeah, anything magical on him?
I can use a couple arrows. Use a couple arrows.
Did he happen upon any clues or secrets that we have not, maybe?
This dead guy?
Uh-huh.
How bad is his loot?
I don't know. He's dead. You want to ask him?
Necromancy.
Yeah.
Necromancy. Necromancy.
Would this be an animate dead situation?
If you want it to be, but it's also a speak with dead situation.
I can speak with undead.
No. And speak with dead is a spell.
Right. Did I take it though?
I'm pretty sure you did. You may not have prepared it.
That's what I mean. I think I didn't because I can bring him back.
Wow.
You can animate him though.
I'll animate him. Oh! No, I have animate dead.
If you animate dead, it will not be able to tell you anything. If you speak with dead,
Oh.
speak with dead allows you to ask questions of dead creatures.
No, damn.
But
I can speak with undead.
You can animate him, and then he'll be your servant, and then you can have an undead servant if you want it. You are a necromancer. That's kind of weird.
What is he?
Keep the
He's a goblin. He's a dead goblin.
With his scimitar.
He's a scimitar.
It's a D6. Is that a
funny.
thing? Do they fight with their sword?
It becomes a zombie.
Yep.
Alright, yeah, let's get some more help.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
I'll do it.
Burn the spell slot.
Now we have a sacrifice.
And
Instead of
you just,
Stop.
as you consult the pages you need, you find
Really
yourself
don't have
even like not having the staff anymore.
Uh-huh.
Being able to command magic more grace and ease. And
Uh-huh.
you literally just like say the words, kind of mumble them, and like lift, and the goblin like slides off the spikes that it's in, and like just like clambers and climbs out, and like its jaws unhinged. And
I'm like still down there by it.
Ugh.
yeah, and it like saunters up, and there you go. You got an undead goblin servant.
Sweet.
You have to cast Animate Dead on him once every 24 hours to maintain his service, but
Awesome.
it is created, so if you decide to let it go, it will not like stop being alive or undead. It just will stop being under your command.
Cool. I look at it.
And remember, you can cast if there were 2 dead bodies here, you could be making 2 of them right now. So like for instance, those vampires in the other room could have been
Right.
Oh man.
Right. Or the dwarf girl in the mine.
or the dwarf girl.
Man.
And
Could've built up an army.
if you use animate
I could keep them all.
if you use animate dead and cast it at a higher level, you can cast it on more. You can make more creatures, and every
Fourth.
casting of animate dead to maintain creatures can maintain up to 4 creatures.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So you can have a whole little army of undead.
I
people
will
following
call you Pookie.
and it just like
It's just a skeleton goblin.
no, it's a zombie goblin.
Zombie
If it has
goblin.
flesh, it has to be a zombie. If it's a skeleton,
Cool.
it's a skeleton.
Then it's
Pile of
Zero.
bones. Okay, cool. So it gets up and it's
Nice.
that's a good little like fodder, like to see how it's not very fast. That's the thing. It has zombie stats, so it's not
That's
very
okay.
It's fine.
fast.
We'll still send him in.
But yeah, so that was a trap.
He'll be a good sacrifice.
You should take Sweep the Dead though when you get the chance. also.
Yes. I have Yeah, I do have it. I just didn't prepare it today.
That's the worst as a wizard.
I know, this is the first time I'm doing that.
That's all right.
What did I do with Rhonda?
That's cool.
Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys want to continue south?
Yeah, sure.
To the two-headed king.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. As you guys head to the
Aww.
to the
That wasn't me, I promise. First
down
time
this
was.
zigzag hall.
I'm just kidding. I'm looking over here with the honoring.
You find a upside down throne, and you see sitting on this throne is a statue of a man who had 2 heads, but one is broken. There are 2 doorways, one to the left and one to the right. There is also in this room a large carving of a stone map. It's an elaborate image of a cross-city section of the Undermountain, and with what is clearly Mount Waterdeep and the City of Splendors on top. So there's a 23 hollowed-out dungeon level stacked below it. So there is Waterdeep on this stone map, and then there are all the levels of the dungeon underneath it. Each dungeon has its own stylistic side view, but no names or details suggest what the level is called. Next to the 3rd level is a bas-relief of a flaming skull. Next to the 16th level is a bas-relief of a comet. Next to the 23rd, lowest level of the bas-relief of the tower is a tiny rune engraved above it. And what you see in front of you are 2 passageways. To the right and left of the 2-headed king, they both are staircases that lead downwards, and you can tell they lead down into the next level of the dungeon. Cool. So what do you guys do?
He's
Message
at the
said to the two-headed king.
To the right.
said to his left.
His left, yeah.
That's
And it
specifically
was
what
upside
it said.
down.
So it would be
Very
our
smart.
left too.
Did it say to his left or the left?
It said his left.
It says his left.
His left.
It definitely said his left.
So should we
Is
do
he facing
right?
us, the throne?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be it'd be the if we're looking at it, it'd be the one on the left. Right?
If he's upside down.
If he's upside down, then
Do you want to send the goblin in?
I'll go in.
You'll go in?
Send the sacrifice.
Sacrifice isn't smart. And
You want to send the goblin? You can send the goblin down. Also, are you interested in the map at all?
Who,
Yeah, what can I
Does
glean?
anyone have keen mind? Because that's something that should be happening.
The map is stylistic. The map looks like someone built a theme park stylization of what it looks like a cross section. It's meant to. What you can tell by looking at it is that the floors, three of these floors have buttons on them. Specifically, that's what's interesting about it. So.
The 16th.
The map has buttons, or
Yeah,
that it shows.
it is this big stone map, and then you can see the city on top of it, and then on either side there are these cross sections that are cut into it to represent the levels, and on one side there are buttons. There's a button of a comet, a button of a tower, a button of a flaming skull.
I don't think we should push any buttons.
Well, where's your sense of adventure?
He
I
lost
left
it
it-
when
I
he
left-
almost
I
died.
left it with that tiefling heart.
Sure. All right. Well, you don't have to push buttons at all. You can just leave them.
I got a question though. So I have the Outlander feature. Would that looking at that map, would I be able to recall or is that something that I would have had?
Said it was stylized.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's a scale map. Other than you being able to,
It's
you would be able to
art.
remember that there are 23
Yeah, that's what I
levels.
was, okay. Yeah.
You could remember. I'd say you could remember. No, I'd say that's about it. It's not a factual map. So.
Cool.
All right. So you guys are just gonna pick a hallway.
I think so.
Okay. Well then,
Meryl, do you want to go towards your destiny or choose your own destiny?
yeah, which way are you?
I feel like this should be
which
your
way are you guys
choice
going?
since you were the one that put your hand on
I
it.
like the way you phrased it, which makes me want to take our power into my own hands.
And kill everyone.
Yeah, I do want to do the opposite of what
It says.
the transmutation,
So
or
you
like
wanna go to
the
the right door. Right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Do you want to send the goblin in through one or other first, just to test your
It's
theory?
it just a
send it to
doorway?
the one
There are
not-
two identical sets of stairs that leads down and deep. You
So
can see.
he may just like go
They
down there
look
and
like
may
as
not
if
know.
it looks like if
anything.
maybe
You can't
magically one is being reproduced. They look very similar.
Let's tie a rope around him and then send him in one and pull him back.
Yeah.
Okay.
See what kind of
See what we pull
destruction-
back.
Yeah, one's just like a whole trap. One's
Go
being
on,
reproduced.
Literally a hook.
Yeah.
I want to send Pookie in on a
We'll
rope.
hook them up.
We're fishing with Boogie.
Yeah. Which one do you send them in?
Let's send
The
him down.
right.
The one
Well-
to our left. We're going to the right, aren't we?
Yeah. So you want to put them in the one you're not going to go in first?
Correct.
Make sure it. Or see where he is.
Make
Okay.
sure it is a trap, or that it's
He
wrong.
starts walking down. How long's the rope? 50 feet?
Probably.
Yeah,
That's
so he
what
walks down
Standard
50
rope's
feet.
usually like-
Doesn't seem to have any problems. You want me to keep going? You want to let go of him? Tell him to keep walking?
Can my mage hand hold the rope?
I mean, Mage Hand can hold 5 pounds of.
That's
So,
I don't know.
So it will. You can, but it will go down with it. It won't be able to hold him.
Okay.
The goblin's maybe 60 pounds.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to retrieve.
Wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Just drag him back up.
Yeah.
Let's go
Can
to
I
the-
let him
and
walk
I'll
through
inspect
the
the
right one?
I'll inspect the right for traps.
And we're still going
Okay,
to the
cool.
right.
I tell you what, we're gonna keep playing here at the game. We'll figure out this stuff. I don't want to keep these streams under 4 hours because they're a pain in the ass to upload to YouTube otherwise. So we'll go and sign off with everybody. Thanks for watching us play.
Wish
You will
us
know
luck.
whether we choose left or right. I will reveal to you. We'll find out the answer next week in Super Deep. Thank you so much for playing.
Bye.
Suck it.
Suck it!